You never want to put all your eggs in one basket. But what if that basket is really, really big? With Tom Thumb for You, you get a huge basket, big enough for personalized deals on things you like to buy and even a free treat on your birthday. You can earn rewards on nearly all purchases and redeem them for things like free groceries and discounts on gas. So go ahead and put all your eggs in one basket. Become a free Tom Thumb for You member today. No purchase necessary. Download the Tom Thumb Deals and Delivery app and feed your joy. Visit TomThumb.com/4U for program details.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, welcome to Cosa Nostra Radio. We are a poetry family located at allpoetry.com. And I'd like to thank Kevin and the crew for giving us a place to call home. We believe in freedom of speech. However, not all of the views and opinions on the show by the guests and poets are reflective of Cosa Nostra ownership and management and are of their own free will. Enjoy this Cosa Nostra program.
There we go. Good evening. Let's see. Who's that? Yeah, is that you? 5? I know it's you. Hey, Rob.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Rob, you there?
Robbie boy.
Oh, there's Rob.
Adam.
There's Rob.
Yes.
419.
Hey, sorry about that.
Hey, that's okay. All right. So we got Razz, Adam, Bob so far. That song sounded weird, didn't it? I don't know, it didn't play right. I don't know why. But, so what's up, guys? Adam, I thought you were messing with me.
You. And on volume at the same time.
Yeah. I thought you were going to come, Adam. That's cool. Rob, what's up with you?
I thought I wasn't either. Took a little wee nap.
the way we know you got an attitude adjustment now?
got my little couple hours to reframe life. When you're sad, just go to bed. It'll be all right.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You can't sing the blues forever. There's other colors out there in the sky.
No. Rob, you there? Want a beer? Hey,
Yeah.
Just tell them what we're talking about. Can you hear?
I have no idea. I just got here. Sorry.
No, I know. Forgiveness. Remember?
Yeah. That's a good one. I see what you did there, Rob.
You know what, for Rob, it's 4 a.m. It's like 4 a.m. for Rob, so he's like hanging, doing me a favor. So, yeah. So, did you bring a poem, Adam? Because I didn't see it.
Nah, I decided I wasn't going to share.
No, I'm going to share?
But I'm here.
No forgiveness.
Hey. You're forgiven.
I was stupid.
Yeah. I can't find Jask's SoundCloud. I don't think you have it. So, you want to read one to start, Adam? You don't mind helping read, do you?
Oh, sure, yeah, I'll read. I'll read whatever you want me to read.
All right.
Let me slam a little bit of this energy drink here, though. Wake up the old brain cell things, whatever they're called. Get a little electricity firing.
All right, so let me take a
Monster Punch, Red Bull.
No, it's a Monster Gold, 10 calories. Gotta be careful drinking these things because, they're like, if you drink just the regular ones. Right, yeah, they got like, there's a link.
You want to start with, I think we'll start with Jazz, okay?
So you want me to read this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
He usually does, but he doesn't.
You said it was in the author notes and the title even. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not there though. I'm blind.
Sorry ain't enough. My love story without a hiccup. I like that. That's a cool title. Until you came into my world, my life was a sands of soul. Couldn't bask in the early morning sun or rejoice the mesmerizing view of the sunset. Couldn't feel raindrops tickling my hands or the cool breeze blowing, leaving me in a jacket of autumn leaves. But you being a foreign land were unwary of me getting diagnosed with Wilson's disease. I thought it would be a priceless beginning with you besides my arms, my heart beating loudly in your mind, come dynamic ends. But on that fateful day, I was about to propose to you. It took my first med. My body consumed with anger. In this boiling sea, I spit fire at you publicly and ripped you off your dignity. And when I look up to the sky, all I see is dark clouds smoldering into red, wishing up to the stars, want to die in arms holding you. The rose needed to bloom. The rose was doomed. It only needed you, but you left, and it bled, no one hearing its wailing cries. Darkened hearts shouting apologies to the stars as night turns to day, but sorry ain't enough. End poem.
I wonder that's to his lover. That's what it's saying. He's saying it's to his love, right? What do you think, Razz?
Yeah, this is definitely personal from Jazz Cohen. He does suffer from this condition, Wilson's disease. It must be a horrible plague to go through a physical malady that's always trying to undermine your own sense of physicology. And so I think it's not so much on the disease, but those who neglect the sick and they feel, kind of emotionally abused, how they become second-rate citizens and are not considered all that more socially real. And I sense a bit of anger here that one does not want to forgive those they would confine their life with, who just simply turn the other way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, it was, I think it's like layers of sort of cultural aspects, which is difficult for a lot of us to understand, perhaps. I know that there's recently been some laws in India at the forefront about the legal marriage age, and as I said, I think there's cultural aspects which are difficult to understand, but as always with Jazz Cohen, I love his use of, as with romanticism in poetry or literature, the comparisons to nature and the use of nature as extended metaphors and all that. I think it's sad, but the fact that he's got that bravery to write about us and to share it with us, and at times I think it makes a lot of us look deeply into ourselves and consider our fortune, and that in itself is a gift to make someone else aware of their, I don't want to use privilege because of the sort of stigma around the word or anything, but to an extent, the fact that we have what we have and we exist as we exist is quite fortunate, to put it that way. So I think it was a good one and nice read. I think that energy drink's definitely working.
There you go, Adam. And what do you think, Adam? Mr. Energy.
It broke my heart. But not that it wasn't hard to get there. You think someone's going to be with you no matter what. In love, it could be rather naive that way. And in the reality of, well, I have this disease. And it's not really, like, I read about it really quickly. It's not horrible. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
it's not something like the
you
breakup
can live
material.
pretty decent. I mean, I don't know how easy it is to afford the medication, but it's just your body just keeps collecting copper, and it can damage your liver really bad and stuff like that. But the medication seems to work, and you can live 40 plus years. I don't know if it was a metaphor, if he really has it, but it seems the person leaves him because he has this disease, and it's kind of like, wow. And then you wonder, like Rob was saying, is it a cultural thing to some degree? Like, he's not viable anymore as like a husband candidate? I don't understand, because I know sometimes that is the issue, right? Are you worth being a husband now?
Yeah.
Can I have a future with you? Because, sometimes that sort of is the idea there. Are you wealthy enough? Are you educated enough?
Yeah.
Are you a part of, like, the hierarchy of things? Love doesn't necessarily transcend those things in certain cultures, right? Because in maybe a more Western culture, love can go from the bottom to the top, right? You can have a king in love with a peasant, or vice versa, whatever. But sometimes culture dictates more of a smart match, I guess as you could put it, where love isn't really an issue. Love is a learned thing. It's, I will learn to love you. I will learn because I'm choosing to, which is different, because I think that works too. Like, I think that is a reality of love. Love is a choice, but love is also an overpowering urge that transcends everything. So it's heartbreaking, though.
Did you read the AN? Like, I met a girl 10 years back, and I saw her, and I wanted to speak to her.
Oh, no, I didn't read that.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I didn't read that. Now I'm an idiot.
States, and I worked on my English. No, it's true. You're right. And 4 years later, I found her wishes on my birthday. Then 2 years passed, and I was diagnosed with the disease. I wanted to propose to her, but took my first med and rebuked her online. She didn't file a complaint against me and married another guy. The guy is so lucky to have her. Oh.
And he feels that way, He forgives her And he was the one butchered in her hands. His heart was butchered by her, and he forgives her.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know what
She should
happened
be
to, like,
begging
sickness
for,
and health, you
like,
know what I mean? Sylvester's part and the wedding vow and all that stuff. Like, people don't take that seriously either.
Well-adjusted guy. Like, to act like he'll be lucky. Any woman would be lucky to have a man like that. Like, wow.
He's a class act, for true. Yeah.
Wow.
And, you know, whatever happened to the wedding vows and, like, marriage and commitment and those things that we used to take seriously that now no one really even seems to give a shit about. And he's, you know, before they're even there, and she leaves him. I got a friend who has a disease, too, and as soon as he got a disease, his wife left him. And it's like, that's not what that's about. Did you read the fine print there? But, yeah, that's not, in my opinion, that's not real love. But
and you know what? That isn't real.
His wife stuck by him the entire time he suffered from multiple sclerosis. Theory of everything.
Right.
So my cousin knows this woman. Her husband has had he's been paraplegic for most of their marriage, over I think 30 years, and she stood by his side.
That's a good
like
woman
he wasn't
right
when they first got together. He got paralyzed, paraplegic, like, and she stuck by him. She never even cheated. She never even stepped outside. Marriage or nothing. Loyal to the end. Like, that's so rare and beautiful. Because most would be cutting and running. I guarantee it. Early on in a marriage, too. Like, it happens, like, within the first year, they'd be gone.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You're saying there was a YouTube audio.
Oh yeah, I didn't see any YouTube or anything on there. Sorry, Jask. So it was a great.
Yeah, you had to deal with Adam reading it. So.
The marriage vow.
Yeah. No, you did a good job. You did a good job. You know, so many people these days I think are quitters anyway in the whole marriage department. So a whole other show, I guess. But all right, Razz, you want to read one? Just so I'm going to unlock the board for you, if you can put one over there. You want to go, Razz?
Read for you, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to open the board for I think I did. Okay. You ready,
Can you
Razz?
save that for another show, marriages, Blue? Because there's plenty
I'll do that.
There's no forgiveness, whether or not there's divorces.
Yeah, true. All right. Okay. You ready, Razz?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll cite for you.
All right. Okay.
Wow, it's my own piece. So here we go. This is on losing one's father when you're young. Dad, abridged version. Patriarch downfallen, domestic abuse assault charges in New Jersey, 84. Honest negativity is edgewise words, non-audible. Dad, I love you, but why did you ever leave Mom? The score to universal harmony, the rock records and the drugs and speed. Raising a family, drifting and taking it backwards to drink with gangster types, and mean-edge masculinity. Prison time during house cleaning, restrained to move an inch, the genius of man is cleaning up all the dust and the dirt. Spiritual slavery, forces of nature, holding together the domestic diminution of an easily understandable boy whose sin was growing up influenced to the cold draft of the Barrios hubris. Dad turned his back and refused to ever love again. Was roughly the age of 3 when the penitentiary time killed a part of the soul from torturous treatment, conforming to behavioral modification. What easier ways of living when going to the market for a fresh loaf of bread, a crushed carton of a dozen eggs, the milk not the spoiling fridge's vitality, endless screaming in my head, the psychologist calls the relocation program normal. Hearing of his hatred always haunted by the voice which first taught me to properly piss and whoever screws that up naturally to biology. What occurs to you? After 30 years, walking up the front door, exposing a cousin in the pants torn sinew, the family member of just as long never shared a word. Is anything of the sacred and profound oblivious, the Roman pagans, that middle finger on the expressway to the rear view mirror never affected the glorious sun. Defy that you're the only one who ever wins instead of God. All the house and madhouse at Skid Row and ruins from the outside threats, the record collection, and the photographs you swear are clear manifestations of man and his eternal soul. You always hurt us, Mom. I stayed away. Think of no one else but yourself. Dad, how perfectly normal of the non-defeated nature. You sound in hell, calling out respect for boss. And poem.
Wow, that was calling out respect the boss. Huh. Dad, how perfectly normal of the non... Wow. Shared this on the file. I'm saying, okay. Wow, this is 30 years waiting at the front door exploded because of... Yeah, I don't know. I'm way off here, but like, I mean, I mean, you're angry, right? Obviously, I think, and patriarch downfall and the domestic abuse of assault charges in New Jersey. Yeah, you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of men or one calls of fathers that are like this, and leave their, you know, families usually understood both. And the whole time you probably thought it was your fault or you did something wrong. Probably were always wondering that. Yeah, this is really deep, and I know this isn't easy for you to share, Razz. Thank you. I'll leave you a better comment when I read it. Defy that you're the only one who ever wins instead of God. Yeah. Rob.
Big Spoo.
Yeah. It's something so sort of raw and pure to the extent of being undiluted and untouched in the natural emotion, and it's actually especially relatable because I had the same situation with my father, who let myself, my mother, and my sister, not when I was 3, I was, I think, 9, but the same sort of thing. And something that while you were reading, or I was reading this, is something where you sort of, it's not enough time, and obviously there's things, you know, it's something that I've been contemplating probably my whole life, since I was 9, to think that, you know, what is, if anything, the good that can come from it, because you have to have some sort of outlook of you know, positivity, or at least you know, some sort of good to come out of a situation. I think that these sort of things, you know, I think of like it's maybe even a bad example, but I think of my own personal, and not to make about myself, but think of like for example, Eminem, making them songs about his experience of having a similar situation, and for that you can sort of conceptualize and you can rationalize some sort of good from that, you know, that for what it's worth. And I'm going to tie this into my next point actually, but for what it's worth, it did help so many young people, or at least people, a generation essentially, that listened to that music and could relate, and it helped them at least, because there was a sense of, I remember reading Kurt Cobain when I was growing up, and it was like, you know, there is a sense of embarrassment to it, you know, the sort of, the thought of you only having a single parent, or, you know, your parents are divorced, and you go around your mate's place and they got both them parents and all that, and it's like, there's an embarrassment element, and it's, you know, shameful that, you know, you come from this broken home and you're the sort of like, you know, with the baggage that's a part of it. And you see the way that it affected him. And, the line that I particularly like and what I sort of think about when I think of all of that is, you always hurt us, because it's not like you hurt us. It's not something that's like a impact injury, It's not like you got sort of bumped by someone passing by with a car and then you just get up and sort of go on. It's like it's a psychological, emotional scar that actually, for the rest of your life, you carry with you, whether you're conscious of it or not. But you always think, are you good enough? You have that sort of complex to you. I think the sense of being aware of it and having the sense to self-analyze and, whatever it takes, but to realize that there is actually psychological ramifications of this experience. And the problem that I see in the sort of modern world is when this becomes more and more normalized, that people don't address it, because it's like, okay, well, everyone's only got one parent, everyone's father left.
No big deal now.
It's like everyone's fucked up, but no one is actually aware that they fucked up. And that's when you get like a mass sort of like psychosis, So, thanks for sharing that, Razz.
Yeah, this was the best way I could forgive my father. I lost him when I was 3 years old, so, it's based on a true story.
Yeah.
I felt that it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just too...
Yeah,
it really touched me. I feel like, just like Rob, I was connected to it on a, and I said even in my comment, us sons and our fathers, it's a certain kind of thing. It's a special thing, and when it's broken, it's really broken. And it's not just, like he said, it's not just an impact wound. It's a scar, and if the scar, it will forever itch if it even is healed. If not, it will bleed forever. And we fear that we are them. Even if it's so mutable and far away of a thing, that you didn't even grow up with them, their ghost or their memory haunts your every ounce of being, and then all their follies and all their mistakes you take upon yourself, and you almost begin to wonder, am I him? If I become this thing I hate, this person that destroyed my mother, my family, and it becomes, and I feel that, man, like my dad was a scum, and I worried that, and it wasn't even like a horrible scum, he was a shadow, and I feared I was a shadow because he was a shadow. It was like he was emotionally devoid and unpresent. He was nothing. When he was there, he was nothing. He didn't teach me anything. He was worth nothing. And then you try to
That's a big deal for boys, I think.
Well, yeah, your father's your role model. He's teaching you how to be a man, or even, and then like even in this poem, even like how he refuses God, because your parents are kind of a role model for God in a way, and so by his father rejecting God, he was almost teaching his son to reject him. But like it was very juxtaposed and awkward, because as a kid you're looking to him as Superman, and I see how Razz did this very standing aside, like dissecting him almost in a way to forgive him. Like, let me dissect the man and understand his folly, therefore I can have some sort of meager way of forgiving him. Which and even in the title, it being an abridged version, there's so much more depth. Because this is him saying, this is the quick forgiving that I can muster up. I mean, it really touched me, Razz, and because I feel this, in different ways. Of course, it's a different story altogether. But
thanks, Adam.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I think the Proverbs says something like, "Start children off."
I had to pretty much go on without him at. It's since I was 3 years old, so time heals everything. So they say.
I don't believe in that one dang bit.
I do.
Time.
If you're possessed by that shadow, you have to cast it away, Adam. You can't let it haunt you. It's just shadows.
Yeah. Just shadows, yeah.
Randall, are you here? Randall?
I am.
Hello. Good evening. How are you, Randall?
Good evening, gang. How are you all?
Good evening.
How you doing? Did you hear Razz's poem?
Good evening, sir.
I know I did. I just heard the comment. That's all.
Okay. I'll let you slide. Just kidding. Put your, if you have a poem, you can put it up on the board. I just opened it up.
I can, if you want.
Or you can throw it to me whenever you want.
What's that?
Right. If you have a poem, you can put it on the board, or you can send it to me, whichever you want.
Well, whatever you want. I can put it on the board just as easy. It doesn't matter.
All right.
I know the topic tonight is forgiveness, right?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes,
sir.
Right.
So, okay. So, I kind of come tonight here, you know me, I'm usually out of the loop a lot, but I come here tonight because this is an incredibly important topic here to get us through where we're at. And I just wanted to help lift everyone up. And one of the ways in doing that is for us to be able to see who we are. Most of us know what we are, but very few of us know who we are, and what this is about and how we got to this 3D state, I should say, which is a deep state. And that's what Scripture means when it says, "In darkness is over the face of the deep." It's a deep state. And so when you seek, you find, ask, it will be given, knock, the door will be open. The three key words in there is when you do those things, you find you. And you get to recognize actually who you are, not just what you are. Anyway, this piece is dedicated to that, and some have already heard it, but it's relevant. It's called Illuminated Inheritance. It's a dance of weavers between the shadows. She steps, keeping twilight trapped behind thin walls in a variant of ghostly shades, asleep for millennia inside a chest of dusty beliefs, covered by cobwebs of impacts and worn-out ribbons. Yet her DNA is but fine strands of divine jewels, like melodies with high resonance, treasures in a museum of cosmic art. Now she awakens with the bondage of shallow frequency inside 3D prisons, unaware worlds pass into negative spaces where language is but a motion of chattering tongues, possessed with vampire demure. Still, she's a princess, born of crystalline blood by the precision of godly breaths, made to seize glorious kingdoms buried deep within her lovely imaginations. End of poem.
Wow.
Well, that's gorgeous. Yeah. Let me do it again. Razz, you want to go first?
Yeah, here I'm seeing a bit of someone who's been let down or rejected by a form of love and communication of which they had sought solutions. And this individual described in the poem, there seemed to be almost a vampiric thought which haunts the poet. And it's one that of which they have found a bond with darkness and the night and even the thought of ghosts. So this person changed their perception around whether or not it's real, the supernatural. It left quite an impact. But at the same time, knowing too much of forbidden knowledge is wrong. And so you have to come to grips with what, again, God wanted from you, which is only good, and forgive them for keeping a false sense of faith in that very darkness of which they've conjured for the poet's own sense of musing and madness. There's always got to be a first step. Be not conformed to the world, but be transformed I knew
by the renewing of your mind.
When I was in my 20s, and they showed me all there is about the darkness, and so I can relate on that level of the poem, but I'm not that more wiser believing that it's actually real, what there is out there. With my mind shut, I would be 100%, straight. Mm-hmm. This is my different perspective as to the other angle, which I hear it's for someone here on the show. No, they're of course a constant source of inspiration, and what comes from the muse, it's very hard to describe in any terms that a poet can ever fully digest all those other possibilities.
Okay.
Thank you, my friend.
Rob.
Sorry, I was on mute. It's quite interesting. It's like, especially the book about language, it has a sort of Lacanian thought to it about the big other that can only be sort of imagined through language, but can never be embodied in any sort of realm, and that is what leads to the anxieties that we experience. And yeah, I just want to say that before the poem
That's the point well taken, Rob. That's good articulation, and what your heart's revealing to you there, because we sit in a state of dis-ease. Being connected to death put us into a dis-ease and out of union with life. And that's the problem. That brings on sickness and illness. And a state of fallenness can't repair a state of fallenness, which is what we are seeing crumbling globally. So it's coming out of the deep state. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Exactly, coming out of the deep state, hence what we refer to as the Great Awakening, where light comes in. This is why what you're seeing is a lot of a big show, and why be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And how can that happen? There's so much dissension going on and everything. You inherently know already in your heart what the truth is. Follow that. Seek and you shall find, etc. Those who have not, ask not. And it's usually as simple as that. All of this, people, is geared for the heart of a child. And forgiveness is at the root of it. And that's where the path begins, in a state of humility and thanksgiving. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Adam.
Well, there's a cascading of deep and profound ideas coming off this, and it deservingly so. I mean, and reading it, the language is beautiful. I mean, even if there are ideas beyond the personification of it, of course, they're there. And I see the pattern even of the way it was written in almost in steps, like, or cascading, kind of the way they come down, and the language was just beautiful. And the idea personified in a person rings true. You know, from what was already said, I think we do kind of almost oppose life and death from each other. We tear them apart when they're actually one and the same. And I think that's what's forgotten, that death and life are one. In my own philosophical belief. You know.
Right, but what you're saying there, brother, and I'm not debating, and I know we need to move on to other things, is like saying light and darkness are the same thing, hot and cold, oil and water.
Well, I'm a duality type person, so I do see the opposites as one. One cannot exist without the other, so they are kind of the same.
They are, brother, in this 3D realm. They are, and I'll say that. Okay, but that's where free will and the decision and the choices that's being made right now are determining a lot of things that we see going on. And so, you know, you get the desires of the heart, good, bad, or ugly, and you can take it and do with it as you will as a free will creature. But we're reaping the rewards of what we see in the manifestation.
And just on that, you know, free will, as ugly as free will can become, it is the truest and most beautiful gift of love ever given. And a lot of people don't understand that. In the free will that we have as a sentient human being, the free will we have is the ultimate expression of the Creator's love.
There you go,
because we do have the choice. Because we do have the choice.
Well said. Everybody's got to build a foundation. Well said. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to top that under those comments. Yet her DNA is but fine strands of divine jewels, like melodies of high resonance, treasures in the Museum of Cosmic Art. That's just gorgeous writing. Really beautiful there. And you know, you always say there's like these hidden messages in all of your poetry, and I know this one's got a bunch of them in there.
Thank you.
And
thank you, dear. For anyone paying attention,
you know, to revive the relationship with God, and like Adam said, to know that it's a choice. I think there's so many things in this poem you can learn from and also admire, not just the writing but the lessons. Very beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Randall. And we all need to pay better attention to that. I'm myself guilty too of
Thank you, sweetie. If you notice the word, cosmic is spelled with a K instead of a C, that's because the C is part of the 3D realm, and K is more outside of that realm, more on a universe. And if we ever really start analyzing what the words really mean here, we can get a clearer picture of things. Universe is literally that, unified word, one word, from one origin, through a vehicle of imagination inside the mind of God. That's what you're experiencing, going from glory to glory.
Mm-hmm.
That?
Remember you told me about the picture on the side of it's supposed to be something?
It's like a woman. I see a woman, but also I see it like as a man's face.
Yes, what it is. A woman in a man's face, as Eve was taken from the womb of Adam, and the two became one. That's what that is.
Beautiful, man. There's so much going on in this piece. It's like
yeah, man. It's deep, but then again, that's for all the different layers of whoever, man. It's like you know, dealing with an onion. You know what I'm saying? You can if it turns you off in the first layer, don't bother with the rest of it. It just gets more intense.
It just stings all the more, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully you get used to this thing.
I look at good poetry myself as far as it analyzes that some of the best poetry is never to be fully understood. That's the adventure.
I agree.
That's the adventure.
There should always be meanings beneath meanings that no one could even tap with even the most the most piercing eye. There's going to be something beneath hidden.
Right. And if it stirs the imagination, that's the vehicle of the heart. And that's why we get the fluidity and the free will to dream. And what the heck? It's all matter anyway. You can manipulate it.
And it only matters if it matters.
Sounds. You can, man. You can. Yeah, you can. But that's up to the individual. Anyway, thank you, guys. Love ya.
Thank you, Randall. Love you. Thank you. All
Thanks,
right.
man.
I SoundCloud for Rama.
Hashtag EXTM3U, hashtag EXTX version 6, hashtag.
Man, that happened last time.
Yeah,
remember?
the text version of the poem. Wow.
Shoot,
AI
I hate
does
that.
drama.
Yeah, every time I do that happens. You know why? Because when it's converted, it's like MU3. That's what it says. And weird. Okay.
Did something happen? Did something change with the program that it converts it or something?
I don't know. Every time I converted it, it's like that. Every time. Oh, it's weird.
Yeah, you should have had me on the case. I had to figure out how to turn YouTube's into SoundClouds just so I could upload them because YouTube's sound bits weren't translating correctly. So I had to use my own SoundCloud page to upload YouTube clips to SoundCloud to then convert so I could share them the other week.
Yeah, they don't make it easy, that's for sure.
It's all coming apart. The Senate does not hold.
So should you read this for Rama then?
No, I'm gonna try to fix it. Rob, could you read for Steam right here? It's a brevity. Robert?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Where is that?
It's on the board.
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Right, this is by Steam Machine. It's called Sin. You slouch with shame, hair slicked back with lies, sunglasses hide your eyes, murky green with sin. The Sith has blood dripping on the dark grass. Fingerprints are gently lifted from the wooden handle. I send them back to the lab. This is not cool, I said. What have you done? They look dumbly at me and say nothing. And the poem.
This was cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Go ahead, Adam.
I haven't really totally gone through, but we have a very juxtaposed piece here. Like, he goes from a very, I don't know, like you don't expect it to take that sort of anti-poetry turn at like halfway, like towards the end, the last like 4 lines. It kind of just suddenly steps outside itself as a poem altogether. When here it is laced deep with imagery, right? Classic poetic form. I mean, there's no rhyme scheme really. Well, there is a little bit one, but what we have is the imagery, which is very harking of poetry, right? And you get these cool metaphors with like the hair slicked back with lies, but then all of a sudden it stands outside of itself and becomes very like hip and modern in a way, and puts dialogue into the. Well, I guess there are classic poems that do that, but it just stands outside itself, I feel, and suddenly is acknowledging almost like a fourth wall break. It's very cool. I mean, I liked it. I was impressed.
All right, thank you. Randall.
This is like an arrow. As I went halfway through this piece here, I started to visualize this because this is an experience that all of us have went through and probably will in the future also, like a constant shock. And to take that emotion and put that in these words and make it that visual or the memory of an experience that this is familiar territory in all of us, that adds to that dis-ease that needs that forgiveness to be let go, and it just compounds it. And this was just like a shot. I thought it was quite cool, really.
Yeah, I did too. It was pretty cool. And like I was wondering if it was like dealing with
he's
death.
on hold too. He's on hold. We got a lot of people on hold. Okay, sorry. He probably could have read it himself.
Show's blowing up.
218. 218. I know.
Yes.
Hi, this is
Hey.
Razz. Hey, Razz.
Hey.
How are you? Hey.
Hey, Rack.
All right.
Hey, Randall. How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good. Long time no see.
Good. It's good to hear from you.
And 763.
Brackalicious.
I think that might be Blade.
Hey,
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Who's that? Hello. Hi, Blade. How are you? And then 218.
I'm doing all right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh, Steam, is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, Steam. I just read your poem.
Hi. Did you read it?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to read it? You can read it really fast.
Oh, you haven't read it?
Well, we read it, but you can read it if you want. Sure.
Oh. Just give me a minute.
Read it yourself? All right. Okay, Razz. Well, no, I just want to read it first.
Razzle dazzle.
You want me to comment on Sea Machine Sin? Yeah. Well,
read it.
you know,
Never mind. Go ahead.
there's a question of what has to be forgiven and it's sin, but that seems to be one of religion. Otherwise, you have to find other ways of wrongdoing to forgive because there's no sense.
I like that perspective.
Do you want to read it, Steve, or is it okay that we just
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. All right. You
Can I read it?
All right, hit it. Yeah, go ahead.
Called Sin. You slouched with shame, hair slicked back with lies. Sunglasses hide your eyes, murky green with sin. The skiff has blood dripping on the dark grass. Fingerprints are gently lifted from the wooden handle. I send them back to the lab. This is not cool, I said. What have you done? You look dumbly at me and say, nothing.
I love this piece, man.
Rob, you want to take a stab at it, Rob?
I just want to say hi to Steen because I never chatted to him, and it's one of my actually first people I ever known on the site. Probably like in the first 10 people I ever spoke to on the whole website. So it's quite a moment for me, you know. Hey man, how's it going? You alright?
Hey.
I'm glad you like it.
Can't hear very good.
Yeah, I thought in a similar way to where we left off with Randall's thing about methods of interpretation and the sort of linguistics and interpretations that we can go into, and the fact that we have elements of different parallel sort of conscious realms that all exist at the same time. The way I see it is that it's almost like what becomes acceptable and what's forgivable, what's passable in a sense of what we permit in our society. Well, I just thought it's brevity and what we want to have it as, but now is perhaps too much. But read into things in a great depth problematically because it takes me longer than probably everyone else to finish a book sometimes. But the thought that it could be just a sense of, degradation of society, and to say that what have you done and to say nothing, it's like look at what's happening at the moment, and you think sort of to call a spade, you watch the news yesterday and you see people voting against like bills to have consequences for, which is weird in itself to have. Okay, right, let's not get into politics, but just to have that all in the sort of layers of the mind. I thought it was like it's super intelligent to be able to say that, at least what it meant for me. But I'm insane, so who really cares? But to say all of that in so little, so that's what I thought of it. Nice one.
Thank you. Blade, did you want to say something for Steve?
Yeah. I thought the poem was great. It literally gave me goosebumps. The flip side of forgiveness, what do we not forgive, and where do we draw the line, and how much that varies from one person to the next. I love the imagery of hair slicked back with lies, as someone else said, and I love the I'm blanking on word choices here. I love the the quotations in the audio. Using quotations in poetry, you don't see it very often. So, it adds a really cool perspective, and I'd love to know the story behind this poem. Like if you had an actual story that you were thinking of, or if it just came to you.
Well, just think of the worst thing you've ever done, and then just apply it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that's what it is to me.
Oh. What's the
Just
handle?
More the idea that it's transferable. It's cool, man. I like it. I thought it was really hip.
Yeah, I use quotes. I find that they're surprising, and it brings immediacy to the poem. It draws you in.
And then you stopped it, like cold stop almost.
And I advise that you use it because it can add some life. And I also put in, let's see, second person. I like that too. When you say you, it's directed right at the reader. Brings them right into the poem. So I like to use second person too. In quotes.
See, I've never thought of using second person that way.
And then there's...
I wonder why sin occurs so frequently that it's meaningless anymore. I see. Those are good tips. Rack, did you want to say something for Steve?
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting. When you center I guess the subject matter around a lie. Sometimes lies are subject to interpretation, and the person that's lying believes what they're saying, so to them it's not really a lie, but you've got evidence to the contrary, and you kind of caught them flat-footed, so you can't help but wonder, are they lying because they believe what they're saying, or are they lying because you caught them and they're just pathological and they don't want to admit it? It's really a sensitive subject and a very interesting thing to wrap a poem around. Great way to leave something open to multiple interpretations. You're going to have people, reading all kinds of crazy things into it that you didn't intend and things that you did, and, they get some really great results. It really came out wonderful. I enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you. I'm going to say goodbye now. Unless anybody else wants to say something.
Bye, Steve.
No, you're leaving already? Thank you.
Bye, you guys.
All right, bye, man.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. Take care.
Great piece.
All right. Adam.
Definitely inspired some thought in me. Let me try that second person. Try that second person angle.
Oh, shit.
I write fiction. I don't use it it's like one of the worst ways to write fiction, though, but in poetry, I could see that being an interesting device.
That steam machine experience for photography, why it's cut like that, the verses, the structure.
It's cool, though.
Photoshop.
Alrighty. I guess I'm going next. It's a whole change up. I'm not doing... Yeah. So I'm just going to... This is the last musing. Just a dream. I know. And it's the real folks blues, because it's just a dream. Also damn funny, silly dreams, silly things, broken things. But once, just you, a dream. Colorless sky cracked and leaking cyanide-kissed pieces, droplets into my dying eyes, cry, slip, I fade, and so goodbye. Silence, the hush, your painted brush, with which I'm crushed. I'm flushed, how easily I can be thrown away. Maybe she's scared. Maybe sighs fill my tiny and fragile heart. Despair, scarred, let it sink. And I drag out the last words, swirling, whirling. Goodbyes never felt so damn hard. But it's one side, the dreaming kind. Red, sacred. But it's just how it is. Shot dead, bang. At least I know I felt something. At least I know that. This is how it goes. I'm going down and out and away, forever plus never. That's a hell of a negative swing. No stars here, no sky, no night. Yeah, it feels all right. Char, sizzle, burn, bitter cherry, inhale, lungs blurry, choke, cough, wheeze. No begging, please. But you can't see. I'm on my knees. I loved in a twist of wish, twisted maybe minced up bits of what was left of a broken heart, black and wretched. This is her paint, colorless. I puke up the antidote, splatters upon blank slates, and they aren't clean. They hurt, I hurt, and you're gone. But that's the best for you, and I understand. If it sounds like a desperate man, it is. I let go of the ghost. I held her hand, and it was just whispers, washed in painted sand, falling, hourglass. I try to believe, to hold true that thing, we need faith and love, but all I do is fail, never-ending, crushed. And I'm sure she's justified. Vengeance bleeds fire red. Make-believe I'm a bad guy, a lie, charade, facade, mask, yeah, all that. Throw stones, I'm made of glass, shattered, scattered, strewn, and too few hopes left, pieces bled at mirage, and I believed it would pass. I'll be every bad thing you need to help you say goodbye. I'll take all the blame solely, so you can remain whole, remain the beautiful. I'm a monster, I suppose, black-hearted fake, because I'm so used to the ache. I'm so used to the abuse. So goodbye. Don't worry, my tears are coffin nails to forge my residual memory of what it meant to dream. End poem.
Damn. That was amazing. Whoa. Whoa, that's it. Soul is here. Say hi to Soul, everybody. Let me get around.
Soul!
We got Soul and...
Hello.
Hello, Soul.
Can you hear me?
937. Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, you are breaking. I can't hear you, dear.
I'm sorry. Better?
You are sounding...
I'm hearing you.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, crap. I was on mute. How you guys doing tonight?
Is that right?
Hey.
Hey.
Yep.
Hey.
Silky smooth. Silky smooth.
Hello.
I tried.
This is a party, boy. Let me tell you something. We got the whole gang. Whoa.
Rob, hi, dear. How are you?
Someone here too?
Stella?
Yes. Hello. I just got back from
Old gang, Salva, Boo, Rack, me.
Is that Naomi?
And we have Razz.
Oh my God, we're bumping tonight. There's like 20 people on the line. Oh, it's a party call.
Yeah, one soul is equal to 40. And one boo we know, Hurricane. One boo we know, Hurricane.
And congratulations, Adam, for your show.
Oh, yeah, plug it for me.
Adam,
yeah.
Tomorrow night at 10. Come to Albatross Adams for anti-poetry. Yeah. Be there. Or be circle.
I'm curious, Randall, do you say something about Adam's poem? Randall?
Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah.
Who's going for mentoring first, should I?
Randall. Yeah. Then you go.
Randall is here. Hello.
My computer is acting on me, so give me one second.
Yes, I am. Love the cadence of this. It had a nice rhythm. To keep one in track. This is one of those pieces that we all go through. That the love you gain is equal to the love you lose. It's that balance of the harder you love, the harder it hurts when it's broken. What it reminds me of what Paul McCartney said at the end of Abbey Road on the tune "The End," and in the end, the love you saved is equal to the love you gave, and this is like it hurts when it happens, but it is better than to never have loved at all. And that's the way it hit me. I thought the piece was really well written.
Thank you, Rand.
You're welcome.
Soul.
Hello. Oh, I so loved it. The topic, forgiveness, Boo, you've chosen such a beautiful topic. And I'm starting my morning with that, I hope God gives me so much strength, because unless we don't forgive, we are stopping the blessings which are on our way, I believe you deserve happiness. I do, and every soul on this earth. And more than anything, to attract and to let in the flow of blessings in store for us by the universe, we need to let go. Yeah, we don't need to forget. In fact, there are people who don't feel an iota of guilt. They are not even sorry about anything, and they've not even told you sorry, But the forgiveness is maybe overrated and overhyped, and maybe it's mostly spoken by those who have hurt others, and so it's very easy for them to say that, you need to forgive and move on, and but when I look into it, I feel that we need to do it because God loves us, and God has a lot of beautiful blessings in store for us. And to attract that, we need to open up our hearts. So to free it, forgiveness is so needed, And what I saw in Adam's poem is selfless love, the way he has butchered himself in the poem just to say that I let you go beautifully. He wants his love to stay beautiful. That is like priceless. It is not it is not easy at all, and sorry, and when you truly love someone, we do want to we keep going back and trying to understand that, like how Rack said, that has the person said or done something out of retaliation or a reaction, and is really not that person. But I think somewhere we need to accept the face the person has shown us, instead of finding reasons to continue loving that person. despite all the flaws, despite all the hurt and the pain, instilled on us for no reason, for just loving the person. But, Adam, your every line, I need to really save this poem. At least I know I felt something. At least I know that. Oh, my God, that line. It is this that probably helps us forgive. That, okay, at least I had that feeling, at least I was alive for a few moments. So it's okay. Fine. Let it be. And thank you for this, Thank you so much, Adam, for this line. And you are great, man. Let's rock your anti-poetry tomorrow.
I'm getting plugged here. I don't even have to do it. It's awesome.
Yeah, you are.
Keep giggling.
And Blade.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love the subtle rhyme scheme, the internal rhyme, as always. Cyanide kiss pieces. I love that. Droplets in my dying eyes. The imagery of with the hourglass, it's really unexpected. But it added a whole new dimension to it, and just the whole idea of it, all the emotions that get tied up in it. I'm a monster, I suppose, black-hearted fake, because I'm so used to the ache. Just it pulls at your heartstrings, because we can all relate to feeling like the monster in certain situations and feeling like a fake in other situations. So I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Razz.
Thanks, Mariah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It shows a complete emotional and mental deterioration from being rejected by someone you would deem to love. And this is the poet really at some of his best when describing that fall. From one point they had pretty much everything worked out. There was that one and only person of whom they would commit, eternal vows. And then through the rejection, it's like falling into a hell of your own, because you know that you're never going to be good enough for what you really, really wanted deep down inside in your soul.
Nice, Razz.
Rob.
Yeah, I think it has a sense of jouissance to it. It's like the
don't tell me it was a good time.
Balancing of a pendulum in a neurochemical sense of pleasure and pain, because that's where we exist, and that's the strictly chemical aspect of it. To have any sort of pleasure, there has to be some sort of suffering. I think that's the balancing act that we have to find. And as Soul was saying, that it's quite a complicated sort of aspect of having the thought of, to have any joy, you have to put on the line the aspect of that suffering is always the bottom line, because even if you spend your life with someone has to die first. Someone has to leave first, unless you do a sort of Romeo and Juliet double act suicide pact or something like that, but otherwise there's always a suffering and their pain, and that's the jouissance sense of it that is an enjoyment and a pleasure, but it coexists with the suffering and pain. That's what I got from it.
I think that is true and holds true. Appreciate it, bro.
I don't know if you heard it or not.
He's having a drink. He's relaxing at the table in the bar.
Okay. Rack, did you want to say anything, Rack, before we move on?
Quickly, because you got so many people. Yeah, I love.
Me too. Behave. Hi.
Adam, meet Sour. Yeah, no.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's called sarcasm. Anyway, I enjoyed the poem, Adam. Really, the way that you delved through the emotions and slipped in and out of rhyme, and especially hearing you read it, when you sped up and slowed down, it kind of punctuated a lot of it, a lot of the emotion, and it kind of enforced the idea of the dream that you were talking about, and to me, the idea of the dream applying to a relationship, there's all kinds of songs that back that up, Life is But a Dream, things like that, and when you're in a relationship with someone that you feel you kind of, I won't say idolize, but you admire them, you respect them, and you just want the best for them. It does feel very dreamlike, and when things start to fall apart, you want to push things into that dream state and reclassify them, even so that it's almost like allowing yourself to have not felt it, or to let the pain go in that sense. So it's a wonderful way of kind of expelling that emotion. The turmoil and the hurt. It was only a dream, really. Almost like anesthesia. And you did a real good job with that.
Thanks, Rick. I really appreciate that, man. That's a great comment.
Sour, real quick.
Yeah.
Yes, I really, it's just an amazing poem. The worst feeling when you don't know, when they leave without telling you why, or that's what I see here too. And it really can make you scattered everywhere, like the pain is everywhere. The way you describe it is incredible. I cannot pick and choose because there's so many great imagery where you express yourself so amazingly. You move that, look what everyone's saying. I don't want to, I can go on forever, but I'm going to stop there because of the time. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude to everyone. To have something, sorry.
You weren't rude, it's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
COVID's worse.
I didn't hear what you said, right? Hey, Rob, I have to say hi to Rob.
Here or not.
We missed you, Rob.
And it'll be played. Okay.
Who?
Yeah. Okay, this one, after me, Blade, okay? And then Rack.
Yes.
Okay, this is called Angelic Anarchy. Okay. It goes like this. So say, in the valley of angels, in the fields of broken snow, on the mountains of the warriors where the devil fears to go, in the passion of it, in the tears of a restless child, in the calmness of the country, in the cities growing wild. Wherever love lies sleeping, whenever hope is lost, a gentle heart forgiving will rise up from the frost. In the heat of bitter conquest, in the night that never ends, in the lies that hold the moment dangling from the liar's thread, in the eyes of well-known strangers and the looks of friends that care, in the path of imminent danger, in the light, all that's fair. Whenever love lies sleeping, whenever hope is lost, a gentle heart forgiving will rise up from the frost. In the never-ending stories and the poems of bitter youth, in the ravings of an old man who has never faced the truth, in the silence of the villain, in the victim's callous laugh, in the arms of a lover smitten, in the families torn in half. Wherever love lies sleeping, wherever hope is lost, a gentle heart forgiving will rise up from the frost. End poem.
Wow. Wow. Speechless.
Wow, Boo, you just wrote this, you just you just hammered this out. Whoa, this is so.
Wow.
Oh, okay. I was like, this is amazing. I don't know. I seen the thing said 6 minutes ago. I was like, what? Did you just write this? How did you? Oh, wow. I love the repeating idea, that kind of transforms and transcends and metamorphosizes as we're carried through this. This is I don't know, is this a real style with a couplet that kind of keeps going and then the stanza that keeps, because this is awesome. I love this.
I don't know. I thought
my favorite part is, my favorite is just that last stanza before the last couplet. I love the kind of, the victim's callous laugh, the silence of the villain and the victim's callous laugh. That's my favorite two lines throughout this whole thing. And there's so much beauty in all of this, but that just stands out wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Randall, you still here?
Yes. Wow, Bo. This one is quite a piece. I'll say that, dear. I agree with Adam there. The format, first off, is quite catchy. The rhyme scheme, the cadence of it, and then augmenting it with these couplets is quite ingenious in this here.
I was going to say the same thing. And genius. It's wow.
And it doesn't take away from the movement of the piece, and that's just in the format. It's the content of the phrasing then lends another level here, if not more. That gives this piece an incredible vitality and a lesson that no matter what, no matter how bad it is, love conquers all. And light's always going to extinguish the darkness. This is the interesting thing about love and forgiveness. Light comprehends darkness, but darkness cannot comprehend light. And that's where we find the dividing line of what's going on with humanity here and loved ones. I'll only say this. You'll know a tree by its fruit, and there's no good fruit on a bad tree, and there's no bad fruit on a good tree. We all make mistakes and falls, but when it goes into deeper levels, that is an agenda and has motive. That's not just a reaction. And that's where the fruit is at with everyone. This piece is quite well done. Well done there. This is a marvelous piece.
Thank you. Thank you, Randall.
You're welcome there.
Nice comment. What do you think, Love and Soul?
Soul, you there?
Mm-hmm. Hello, it's all. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear anything clearly.
We hear you clearly.
It's all breaking up. Maybe I'll try calling back.
Okay.
Oh.
What do you think, Razz?
Yeah, it shows great depths of descriptions that have to do with the world. And I see this to be a kind of statement that divine works occur within mankind, but the actual expression only seems like anarchy because we can't rationalize how all these seemingly non-coincidental incidences connect to that grander master plan of which there's some mind which thinks out all the connections. So amidst all of these acts of fury and compassion, where is the human race? It's like an invocation of the poet. Why is society nothing more but anarchy, yet at the same time it's said to be completely God-given?
Thank you, Razz.
Yeah, nice one. Silk, are you there?
I don't know if Silk's here or not.
Currently getting wasted.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I couldn't find my mute. I couldn't find my mute button. I've been here. And no, I really dug this song too, for real. I've been here. And what I really loved about it was this stanza right down in here. If I find, here we go. Wherever love lies sleeping, whenever hope is lost, the gentle heart forgiving will rise up from the frost. And I love the kind of just light and airy feel in the repeated in this, in this, in this. You just named out all these places where forgiveness can rise up. And I love your little message in your author notes too, the let it go and free yourself. I thought it was a beautiful piece with a lot of wisdom that people should be looking to and looking up to, and just lovely read as well.
Thanks, Silk. So,
yes, thank you. I see, like, you really, especially the opening stanza in the Valley of the Angels, seems like the peace, you'll find it there, and in the field, because the quote says, forgive others not because they deserve forgiveness, but because they deserve peace. So in the tears of restless child, you see, even there you can see that's what I might be wrong, but that's what I see here, as you said, in the calmness of the country. And I agree with Blue, like you give so many examples with just keep going, never really, the eyes of 12 low strangers, friends, you got it from every side. And I have to admit too, my favorite line, truly, not because you said it, Adam, is just send out the silence of the villain, the victim's callous laugh. It's just beautifully done. Angelic energy, and as also Razz said, it's chaotic. There is so much, but if you can find this peace of forgiving, by the forgiving you'll find the peace in this energy. So well done. And I love the repetition line. They're really beautiful. A gentle heart forgiving would rise from the throne. Yes. Well done, Boo. I don't agree. I'm going to say something. I don't agree with the quote. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really honest. I mean, I feel like even people, the hardest part is to forgive people who even don't deserve it. That's me. Sometimes that's where you find even more peace. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like not only for your peace. When you forgive really the people who don't, for more peace, I don't know. We can have a whole show about that.
Yeah, nice one. What did you think, Blade?
Hey, Rob. Hello. Need to make sure I wasn't on mute. I really enjoyed this. The rhyme scheme and the meter is done really well. It flows really nicely. It's not, there's no, excuse me, I am apparently too tired for today.
That was the cutest yawn ever. Sorry.
I've been yawning all day. Anyway, there's not like there's no hint of forced rhyme, which is a hard skill, and my favorite lines, the ravings of an old man who has never faced the truth. I love that, and we can all relate to that grumpy old man in our life who has no idea what he's talking about. And sometimes we're the old man, but
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Some of us are the old man.
Oh, you old whippers.
Lee, you're up.
I'm starting.
I'm the shaking arm on the lawn.
Okay, off of my lawn.
Okay.
It's getting out of control. There's like a whole scene in the chat. Like this is wild. From on the call.
I completely blame Phil.
Okay. Let's move
on to poetry. So, forgiven. Sometimes my heart hardens against things I cannot see, pushing back against feelings that I do not want to know. Unhindered, I fall forward, crash hard among the reeds of lives before. I am unsure of what to do. Wanting to move on, but stuck in the past, I cannot see my future. And I am bound to want what once was. Lost, I see beyond what I can feel. Find desire for peace in heart and heart. Freedom is found in letting go. And forgiveness is all that I need. End poem.
I agree. Very good. No, I mean, that's what it is, right? Forgiveness is for yourself. Truly, it's about healing yourself and not carrying that grudge inside like a stone that weighs you down and bitters your heart. And I love that. I love the unhindered, I fall forward. Like that just leads into this whole great kind of opening up and like covering, like putting on the blanket of warmth of forgiveness. Because it's for you, not them. But it is for them, but it's for you. It's great. Great piece played.
Forgiveness has to come from you before it can be for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, Razz.
Yeah, it definitely does require plenty of willingness in one part to forgive the other party for their injuries and wrongs. And so this reminds me a bit of the taking down of the wall of Berlin when Germany had become one and the same nation again in the 80s. You have people who are divided and then just finding that right moment again to be a unified whole.
Yep. Rack.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this a lot, Blade. The ending phrase on the freedom comes from letting go. That there's a lot of truth in that. I mean, so much more, I think, than just the situation at hand. It's the underlying thing to that, to me, that I love is almost, without saying it, is I'm not going to let it live in my head. It's not going to take up any space in my life anymore. It's not about blame. It's just I'm done with it. And there's a freedom in that thought too, that just makes it so relieving. You did a wonderful job with it. You really did.
Thank you.
Silky.
Yeah, if I can get off mute here. I totally dug it. Mars, to me, I like you would do a little brevity now and then, and it's just as powerful as you go along piece, especially when you read it. And I like Unhindered, I Fought Forward, Crash Hard, Among the Views, The Lives Before. Me, yeah, it was kind of about forgiveness here, and just, I'm trying to pick out another part I really enjoyed, but I mean, the whole thing is hard to just pick apart. And I guess down here in your ending, where you said, "Lost, I speak beyond what I can feel, find desire for peace in the heart and heart," and that's kind of like when you struggled and just held on to hatred, I guess, or a enmity so long that it's just starting to poison you, but you finally let it go. It can feel kind of like a good thing, and I really enjoyed the whole piece. Good job.
Thank you. And Rob.
Yeah, I think this is a sort of like a problem with self, at least that's the way that I see it, because especially in the first stanza it's quite a modern condition that's certainly worrisome. The fact that people find invisible problems, or at least things to create as maybe emblematic of something greater that they harden against, to say it that way. I think the admittance thereof and the confrontation thereof to deal with it in this way is somewhat admirable, because to admit that that's a sort of conscious abstraction is at least one step of the way in getting there, because it is really, I think, quite a widespread situation where people just sort of have invented, it's very Nietzschean in the sense of the death of God, and having to create new enemies and create new tribalistic alliances, where that's what I feel about the first bit, at least. But I think it was, at least quite bold in professing that, because I think a lot of people will go and die on the top of their heels. Most will, in fact, because it's quite the modern dilemma. A nice one. Thanks for
that. That's a great comment, Rob.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty,
Thank you.
Can I comment on this one, Boo?
Yeah, sure.
If we look inside ourselves and we look outside of ourselves and we see what's going on in the world, it looks like all paths on every level lead to forgiveness. And when we get to that point there, brings on humility. And the act of humility and the act of forgiveness and letting that go is the first step towards wisdom. And a person of great wisdom is a person of great sorrow. Yet they have the resiliency to understand that it's truly love that makes this whole thing go. And it's a progressive step. And we're not going to get that out of a book. Even though wording's there, we're only really going to get this by experiencing what this really is. That we truly understand that the birth of the seed of rebellion will give birth unto the fruit of death. And we need to experience that so we never go through this again. And that's about the time frame we're at right now, is coming to the awakening of what this really is, and sides being drawn. And this poem is an expression of one who's made a choice for that which is the light is the only way out of this. Well done, dear.
Thank you.
Okay, Soul, you ready? Then Rack. I think she might be on my
So
computer.
Soul said she couldn't. She was having trouble with Blog Talk.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Yeah, shit. I wanted her to read hers.
That old foil coming around.
Friggin', god dang. I don't know if, okay, maybe she's in the studio. I'm not sure. I have to get over there. My whole screen just went blank, so unfortunately, yeah. So I got to get over there. Maybe we could do Sawa and then Soul. Sawa, so you could have yours, Sawa?
Check up on those viruses,
I have it on the, you want me to grab it?
Yeah, I can't get in there at the moment.
Sure. I'll be glad to do that.
And
no, don't be sorry. Here we go. I find it. The link. Okay. Here we go. You see it, everyone?
What?
One day.
Do you see it? I put it on the board. Hello?
Thank you,
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Okay. One day, un jour, à l'heure où l'orbe s'éveillait, sans aucun bruit, seul, mon âme et moi, nous avons quitté un passé pénible, suivant des nuages qui ont pris fuite. Je ne pouvais demeurer près si longtemps. Mes pensées s'envolaient une à une. En voyant l'oiseau agitant un rameau, ses feuilles tombaient. En voyant un papillon danser entre les belles fleurettes, j'ai crié des cris de joie dans le silence et j'ai pardonné. The hour when the dawn was awakened, Symphony knows, only my soul and I left the painful past. Following the flag of clouds, I could not stay here any longer. My thoughts flew one by one, seeing the happy bird waving the twig. Leaves were falling, seeing the butterfly dancing. Among beautiful flowers, I screamed in silence, joyful screams, and I forget. End of poem.
Oh, there you go. Beautiful flower. Rack. You there, Rack? Okay. Silk.
Yeah, I love this. Another great brevity, Sawa. To me, I love that ending. That's such a powerful ending. I screamed in silence, a joyful scream, and I forgave. And I thought the imagery throughout the piece was the beautiful scenery that you set here, especially with the seeing a happy bird waving its wings, leaves were falling, seeing a butterfly dancing, and then beautiful flowers. It's kind of like just seeing all this beauty and then not being able to help but just let it go and forget. It was just so beautiful. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Sid.
Rob. Hey, Rob. This sounds really attractive. Okay, there's right there. Adam.
And Adam is here.
Adam's here.
So, I keep seeing this word sans, and I was like, I got to figure out what this word means, because I know it as a character.
It without.
Yeah, I see that. I looked it up, and it comes from some vegetarian dish without meat, eggs, and so it's used in a way to mean without. So it's interesting. I've been seeing it used, so I'm like, what is the deal with this word? Anyways, that's outside of the poem itself.
Can I explain it quickly? Since it's actually a French word, but borrowed by English, means without.
Yeah, she just said that, and I just said I read it already. I looked it up. It's okay, Sawa. But I looked it up. I'm not an ignorant person. I go and look up words if I don't know what they mean. So anyways, but it comes from a vegetarian dish that is without eggs, meat, or whatever. But it means without. So now I see it. Now I see what it means. And it's cool. Is this a real picture? Did you take this picture or did you find it?
No,
it looks like a real photo.
I take pictures. Yes, I take pictures.
You took that picture? I love it.
Yes.
I love it. It's so beautiful and gorgeous. And I love the subtlety of using gentle things to bring about the idea of forgiveness. To bring forgiveness to life is almost like giving birth in a way to these beautiful things that you notice, and then that noticing of these delicate things, forgiveness comes about. And then I think it's quite beautiful and gorgeous. Amazing, right?
Thank you so much, Adam.
Hey, sorry, I was here.
Hey, Rob.
Hey.
Okay, go ahead, Rob. You're the
Hey.
It's good to be back, Rob.
Sans is the French word for without, if I remember correctly, or lacking without.
I'm never going to say I don't know what a word is again. Thank you, everybody.
I'm just
being sarcastic.
I remember yesterday and also his home using the word sans. And the way that I see the second stanza, the second bit of it, is to Abrahamic religion almost, with the story of the bird with the olive branch, to say it's a sort of peace offering, the end of suffering, which was essentially the flood, to the extent of it being an archetype or literal is up to interpretation, but to see the greenery rise out of what were the floods in that story is quite a sense of revival for self as well, because only once we become sort of conscious enough of the as you use the sort of without any noise and just my soul and I, and dealing with the what Jung would call the shadow, and it's what I was sort of explaining about when Razz read his as well, with sort of being aware of that, and I think that extends the greater theme of the whole night's poetry, the demons that one faces, and being conscious thereof, and being able to, because you would always say that, to really understand something is to understand what it says about you, essentially what them problems and what them things leave you with, because that's essentially the end of the day, because people can go and people can stay and people can do whatever they want, but you're left with you until you die. You know what I mean? Like, you're left with the consciousness that you possess, and that's it. Like, everything else is external, and you just project that onto, as a great Latin American.
It's a reality, right?
The I think it's like the 4 laws or something, but don't take things personally, and this is one of the greatest lessons that I've learned. It's just that.
No. I love the interpretation. Very, thank you. Very deep. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Like once you're able to understand that it's not you that's being the cause of the injustice, that people sometimes do things that are, whatever they are, but it's not because of you. You're just the recipients. And once you can understand that, and once you can move beyond that, you get the greenery, you get the olive branch, and then you can enjoy the fruit thereof, So it's understanding that you have to first go through that flood, and then, as Randall would say, once you get out the swamp, you get something good, don't you?
Thank you so much, Rob.
And that.
Good to hear you. Good to hear you.
Very well spoken, Rob.
Every Friday, Rob. I'm just kidding.
I love the pull
Thank you.
Jung, theory and psychology into it. That shadow aspect, and he's one of my favorites. And his work is so in depth and beyond scope that even psychologists are afraid of his work because they can't get beyond like the first few ideas, because he has whole books that are just daunting to most psychologists, but his ideas are just groundbreaking. Because I think he must have been an emotional genius to be able to have such empathy to understand people beyond their own even. Great comment.
Yeah, Rob, thank you. I'm happy to hear you. Really here. Where's Boo Boo Boo?
Those are known as empathists, Adam, who can understand emotions on a greater level.
Rack is still here. I heard him giggling before, but I don't know.
I'm still here.
Okay.
Can you?
Okay, Razz and then Rack. Comment.
Can you hear me?
Hey. Yep, I hear you. And then you're going to go next, Soul. Hi, Soul.
Oh, my God. Finally. I'm having such a bad time with this blog page here tonight.
Going to have to forgive Blog Talk.
I hear it too, not only you. I hear it too. I just try to ignore it. I hear it. It's not on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Razzle Dazzle. And then Rack, and then Soul Read.
Rackle Dackle.
Yeah, I'm perceiving something slightly different than the previous comments on this piece by I Love Poems one day. It seems to be finally all there is of one's environment just boiling up until you have to have that primal scream. You just want it to stop because all it ever did was really harass the living hell out of you. So you're in a tranquil situation, seemingly paranoid how it can be that your environment is trying you all the time, but all that you manage to really respond finally on a primal level is that scream.
Thank you. I love all your interpretations. I love each one of your interpretations, really, so thank you.
I didn't give mine yet, Salva.
Okay.
Wait on. Hang on. Okay, Adam, sans. Sans is a word people use for auto-attention.
Here we go again.
It's the word for auto-ten, sans. When you want to confuse somebody.
I love it.
You love it, right?
I do. I love the dig. I live in the dig. Thank you.
Like a comment, sans the word sans.
And Salva, my God, again another. You are such a fairy, and you love to weave fairy tales. And over here, when you say that, seeing a happy bird waving a twig. Now, who's that laughing, Razz?
That's Adam.
That was Adam. Okay. Salva, I see you. Hello. Shut up. I'll get disconnected again. I'm not going to forgive you. Let me see.
Oh my God! So
that's all Rack's fault.
Rack is okay. Now I'm going to speak. And Salva, when you write over there, seeing a happy bird waving a twig, I think you are the happy bird, and whom you have kicked out. Finally, bid your final goodbye. He's the broken twig. He's a twig. So that's what I want to.
He's a
twig.
The
butterfly.
Boo, I knew you'd like that. I knew Boo was going to comment on the twig.
Twig break.
He's a twig. He's a twig with all the alliterations and puns intended. And so be the happy dappy birdie, my sweet little birdie, my Salva. Thank you for this beautiful poem. And whenever I want to scream, I know I have to call you a boo, So you are going to be listening to my screams till I heal.
Yes.
Rack, how you feel about twigs, Rack?
I prefer to live life sans twigs. Anyway.
Sans twigs.
But I'm done.
Rack, I really missed you, my friend. You are such a darling.
Right.
Yeah, I love the idea of Salwa talks about. It brings about the act of forgiveness is ignorant of the injustice, and that's kind of where the scream comes in, because whether it's just a small slight or a huge, forgiveness is forgiveness at the end of the day, and sometimes it's harder than others.
Thank you so much, Raconteur. Well, I hear like water.
Right.
And
Yeah, same here. Somebody is in the shower.
Someone's washing their underwear.
Okay, you guys busted me.
Calling us from the bathtub. Hello? Can I read my poem? Oh my God, don't tell me I've got disconnected again.
No. You're not. You're here.
Oh, okay. Am I supposed to read now?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
On the board. If your poem is on the board.
Okay, my dear. Okay, I'm reading it, yeah?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Get reading it, Soul. Will you get reading it?
Hello, what do I do? The problem is I can't switch,
between.
Okay.
Where's the poem?
It's on the board.
Where's the poem? I don't see it.
It's there on the board, Salva.
Yes.
Refresh.
Put it again. Refresh.
Okay, I don't see it. Well, I don't know. I still don't see it. That's crazy. I read
I'll
it.
put it back for you. Razz, put it back.
Okay, I'll repost it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, here.
Cool.
Thank you.
I've reposted it, yeah?
Thank you.
Read it to
Yeah.
us.
Okay.
Read it to us.
Side
Give it to us,
desires. Hello? Okay, I'm reading it, yeah? It's a little cranky poem. Please bear with me. Sight desires. Eerie silence spots empty folds. World's forlorn heart to sonic olds. Wilted jasmine on a moonless night beholds the stars in fading twilight. Chisel monsoons a benumbed sapphire. Misty forebodings sighed her desire. Chilly breeze echoes vows concocted. Plays a requiem for lovers parted. Forbearance I hold in thistle palms. Holy incense, no more my dolor calms. Solitaire dreams lie in broken arms. On a forbidding winter, a soul smolders and burns. I'm sorry for all the disturbance. End poem. It's dark. Sorry for all the disturbance this morning here and it's chaotic.
Okay.
So
okay. Beautiful. Rob. Robert.
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Okay. Rack. Wait a minute.
Oh, this is absolutely beautiful. I love plays a requiem for lovers parted. The rhyme throughout the piece is stunning, but I mean that jumps out at me. And this almost fits in with the poem. I mean, when you talk about a requiem, there is that noise that comes with it. So it's not exactly a quiet thing, I think. But the whole idea of the forgiveness, it's a hard concept, and it's beautiful when you can embrace it. Like Blade had said before in her poem, it's freeing, and it's like even you were saying, it makes way for the blessings. All of that comes out in this in a very beautiful way.
Thank you so much. Yes, even if you are bleeding, but there is no other way but to pistol palms, as I say, that I hold forbearance. So
yeah.
Thanks, my love.
Silky. Still here, Silk or Blade? This phone is gonna.
Blade had to go, and Silk had to take a short interlude.
Silk went. Oh, sure. Okay, Rob. Are you back, Rob? Rob's back.
Looks like you're stuck with me, default or Soa.
Default. No, in Razzle Dazzle. Okay, Razz.
Oh, Razz.
Razz.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Razz. Got so many on the line.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't disconnected. So,
no, you weren't.
As to the Sky's Desire, this is some deeply dark material to think about during winter, but that's when the Earth seems to be at its point of equal division between 12 and 12 hours. And so you can say a greater part of this season is spent with a form of darkness. What you're reading here seems to be an emotional loss from the poet. They are in a state of turmoil and mourning. The shadow of what they believed is now somehow crumbling, I think, within those burning pyres.
Adam.
Thanks, Razz.
Yeah, that was.
Sometimes you gotta let them burn.
Was a great comment, and that was what everybody said really so far. Just nailed it. I'm really thinking of the title and scythed. Or it makes me think of either using it as the farming tool, or the Grim Reaper. It's the only two ways you really kind of see a scythe. It's always in the hand of. It's the harvesting, right? So I see.
Wow.
The harvesting of, forgiveness. Let me dig and do the work to find
he gets it.
in all these, in all this damage, and bring fruit of the damage to forgive. And what everyone said is beautiful and holds true. And besides, outside of all that, her poetic form is immaculate. I love it. The use of words that are beyond, you don't see them commonly. And she does it masterfully. I loved it. I love the use of concocted. I don't know why. It's a fun word.
Yeah.
And forbearance. I mean, my God, you use forbearance. Solitary. That's a common word, but not used often. Requiem is often used, but she does it so well. Everything it tantalizes the ear and the eyes. And when you read it, the eyes even enjoy the size of the words. They're all very lengthy words. I think over 50, maybe 75% of this poem is 7-letter words. It's quite skilled, and the metaphors and imagery are beyond. It's pretty good. I can't believe Kevin gave you shit for this, by the way, in the comments. I'm scrolling through comments and I see. Yeah, he's kind of gives her shit sometimes. I see that, but it's positive shit, but it's still shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he commented on people's stuff. I didn't realize he commented on people's work like this. It's kind of and he's how do you use this like this? And then she explains it silence does blanket our emotions often. Think about it, because he's how do you swathe with silence? Are you a poet yourself, or do you not understand how poetry works? That you can take metaphors from. Yeah, exactly right. He doesn't understand poetry apparently. Maybe to him, poetry is just a limerick. Sorry. It just offended me seeing his comment. How do you swathe with silence?
Read the disclaimer before the show. Kevin Watts owns the site, Adam. And you just be, quoting him that he has no idea of poetry.
Please refer to the thing before the show. No, I know you.
Adam's opinions do not reflect on Cosa Nostra. If you're going to kick anybody off the site, go ahead and take it out on him.
Yeah. Blame it on Adam.
That's all right.
I know you want to say something.
No, it's not like Kevin Watts really cares what anybody thinks. He's loaded.
Thanks, Razz.
Oh,
let's get it.
Oh, God.
shit.
Like
Holla. So I know you want to say something about this poem.
Yes. I really mean it a lot because you know I mean it. I just in love with your wording. You are such an amazing poet. I agree with everyone. Just the way you express your feeling, the touch. What's that? So emotional, and it shows in every word. With the jasmine on moonless night, the jasmine on a moonless night. Behold the stars and fading to light. I mean, one of my favorites too at the end when he says, "Holy incense, no more, my daughter comes." Whoa! And it turned to ended up with the solitary dream. It's like even the word smoother. I had to look it up. My English is not that fantastic, so I had to look it up. And I feel like I was so curious. Mother said, "What is a smoother, mother?" I wasn't sure which way to go. And I find that it burns without the flame, but with the smoke. My goodness, you choose just the perfect word to express how much you're hurting. There is no flame there, but it's dead because if you burn so much, there's no more flame. It's only the smoke that's remaining from this flame that's burned so much. My goodness.
Yes, you know it. Like I'm not able to write anymore, and something within me has died. And
no, they will. Writing poetry will bring you back. Keep writing. It really is amazing. Just the way you express yourself, moving so deeply. Give me goosebumps. Well done.
Yeah, don't let anybody take that away from you, especially if you like writing poetry and you do and you're good at it.
When
steal it from you.
Everything, every single word, comes crashing down. Everything just felt like a lie. Today when you look back and you listen,
you wonder what every
and
you wonder every word they said. Did they mean it? What every word they said was it bullshit? What
today
what
when
was
I
real?
sit
What
to
wasn't?
write, when you would write for somebody, and today when you sit to write and your pen just refuses because you are still hurting, your feelings are still there, and I can't write anymore because I feel it was mocked and rebuked, Forget asking for sorry. You rebuked my love. You went live and you mocked me and you made fun of me. You made fun of my love for you.
That's immature idiots to do that. Don't
Tell me where hurt you. I'll hurt him. Where's he at?
No, that's immature people who say shit about love.
I'm gonna hurt him. How such a delicate flower you are. I can't believe this has been this
that's
crushing.
stupidity, blindness, and immaturity. You know what? And you're going to come out ahead of this, and you're going to learn, and it's going to all work out. Okay.
He's committed a grievous sin to take away your passion for this art that you do so elegant.
Fuck that.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
that. Fuck that. Don't let nobody do that.
You have to stop giving in to those psychological abusers, so you're mind fucking.
Yeah, the mind fucking. Right, you go, boy.
And you know what? Forget the twigs. Forget them twigs, right?
Forget the twigs. Yeah. Anyway, twigs are diamond dozens.
Yeah, pick you up a log. Something you can sit on, very sturdy.
Oh my goodness.
Take a rest. So, no.
Take a rest.
Behave, guys. Behave.
Oh, Lord.
I meant to sit like a log as you're walking through a forest, a down tree, a down tree.
Yeah.
A down
hey,
tree.
we have something you can straddle instead of just fucking break. Come on.
See, Boo's the one taking it there. I was just talking about a tree falling in the woods. Does it make a sound? I don't know.
I'm just saying. Trying to make you laugh.
I would like to walk with you through this forest.
Razz is going to mute all of us. He'll be
Razz is hilarious. Razz is coming out of his shell day by day by day here.
Thank you so much, guys, for making me laugh.
Boo, did you hear me? Working with Boo.
No, there's someone else.
Yeah, he's working with Boo. I'm rubbing off on him.
Laughing.
Poor Razz. Poor Razz. He wasn't fine before. Oh, shoot. Okay, now. So, yeah, don't even, every day gets easier, every day it gets stronger and better. And you'll look back at this someday and you'll just be like, can't believe I wasted so many tears, And they'll be in the same spot where they were. So don't even trip. Anybody else want to say something about souls? Rob, are you back, or did I lose my partner, or what? I don't know.
Remember, your name is Laughing Soul, not Crying Soul.
He's probably on mute.
Your name is Laughing Soul.
Your name's Laughing
Wait,
Soul.
didn't comment.
I'm on mute.
Okay.
No, you're not on mute. Are you?
You're not on mute. Rax never on mute.
Mute too? Are we in a weird world of mutation?
That's
what
we all
allow
have
you before they come to the show. What did everyone drink before you came?
Yeah, you cracked me up, man. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Who wants to go,
the weekend, Salva. I had rosé wine yesterday, so I'm like having a hangover headache.
I drink work.
Sawa, who wants to go, did you say? You said somebody wants to go.
Yeah, sorry, I'll leave it come in. Sorry, my
yeah. There he is.
Oh,
hello.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So 2 things, and it's not to be sort of insensitive of the matter or anything like that, but I think it's something that's important to understand, because then we don't face these existential dilemmas, at least, is that you should never write for someone else unless you're writing a letter to them, but you're always writing out of self, and then, it's not essentially reliance on any external geist or any sense of object or symbol is one thing, and it's not it's not to be sensitive to the situation. It's just an observation and suggestion, because I know what it's like. And the other thing is that whenever faced with them situations, it's just to remember that probably one of the greatest writers of the last 100 years faced the same thing. Fitzgerald had the same situation, and actually I think Hemingway wrote him a letter and he said that you've always written and you'll write again. So it's that whole thing of like, it's not to, a lot of times we sort of elevate situations to levels that are undeserving, or at least, it's a paradox of anxiety, in fact, and it actually ties into this. It's the fact that when you get anxious about something and you become conscious of the anxiety, then you start to get anxious of that anxiety, you know what I mean? And then it's like the circle, and it's just like taking the fucking, what's them stairs called, the elevates on anxiety city, you're just going from one level to the next, and it's just like, just calm down and have a look around you. And I'm saying as bad as they are, and I think that we all need to do that with the world as it is, because it's a lot better than it were 100 years ago, but it could be better. It's not to say that we should be complacent or that things are great, but stop and take a look around you, because things are right.
Mm-hmm.
Writing's in your blood, so writing's in your blood, and you haven't been exsanguinated yet.
Exactly.
Zach, thank you. Thanks.
And then don't let anybody take that from me anyway. Okay, so next is going to be Rack, and we've got a SoundCloud. Thank you, Soul. Right spot. Oh. Did I put the poem up there? I did, right?
Yeah.
No, you did, yes.
I'm looking at it.
Yes,
okay, here we go, right.
Respiratory Distress by Raconteur.
By Raconteur.
Experiencing the vastness of the universe, visiting every star in the sky, captured in the flecks of her eyes, each a mystery I long to understand. But the stars I so desperately grasped at became glistening saline fractals, inescapable reminders of the celestial expanse I so briefly dwelled during my moment in the sun. Futile beating of wings, I find myself wishing the fall will be fatal as I go up in flames like a satellite crashing from decaying orbit. What hope could I possibly have of surviving nuclear winter? In disappointing her, I exsanguinate myself. It should be easier to breathe when the smoke clears, but I don't know how to cleanse the air without dousing the flame. The thought of continuing without her is enough to drive me insane. She was the air I breathed, and I find myself in respiratory distress. End poem.
Never a good place to be in respiratory distress. Definitely not. Yeah, that's about the kind of love that you can't get over when you lose and you feel like you're going to die and you go through the stages of death and breathing, and it's if you can't breathe, it's the worst pain there is. I think one of them, great poem, Rat, as always. Razz.
Yeah, I definitely felt that line on surviving nuclear winter. I see this to be a way of forgiving the conditions of which we're existing now. By that metaphor, I don't see a love relationship, but the world. And as it is, there's a heavy amount of radiation which individuals are exposed to on a daily basis. So the fallout is here, and we have to find a way to forgive the mistakes of which we're living right now.
Yeah. Thanks.
Rob.
Hey,
hello.
Sorry, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the same things, but I mean, I feel somewhat, like it's not to be harsh or nothing like that, but it's in a sense the same line of thinking where, to what I believe to be unethical happiness, to feel any sort of happiness is quite unethical in a sense that, how can you exist in this world and find joy when the reality is what it is? So it's on that level that I say what I say. It's not to say anything about anybody in particular or any personal, so I understand that. The other thing is that it's a sort of like, as everyone said, and it's a sort of catchphrase, I think the nuclear winter, and I think nuclear is a very interesting thing because I think about at least a generation before my own, the fact that nuclear was sort of portrayed as this spectre of dystopia, that nuclear was going to end all life as we know it. But the actual fact of the matter is, if you consider things on a level playing field, is that nuclear weapons essentially have ended war, because we can't go to war anymore, because if you drop a nuclear bomb, it's the end of the planet. So you can't really go to war. You can do sort of cybernetic attacks and this and that, but the sense of physical or at least invasive territorial wars are depleted as we know them because of nuclear weapons. And this is where I challenge the Oppenheimer thoughts of, I'm become death, etc., that it's in fact quite the opposite. The invention of the A-bomb has created a world where you think about in the past, the sort of
I disagree.
argy that we have with certain nations. In the past, we'll go to war, but at the moment, it's a very sort of sensitive place because of the fact that that's what we elevate to. And the other thing is the
absolutely not.
The creation of energy and the creation of power, that the thought that nuclear would be a bad thing is quite incorrect now, as we've come to learn that in fact it would be probably the best, and that's what Macron is doing in France. They're doing it in China as well, creating nuclear plants for energy, which seems to be the best. At least with all dates that we have currently, it seems to be the best possible way forward. So it's a sort of dichotomy in that.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Rob.
Joe Natchick.
Boo.
Can I go?
Adam, Albatross.
Go.
Adams, nuclear.
We do. No, Salwa.
We do.
Salwa,
Hey, Bob.
Oh, this is my children.
We're fighting.
Adam.
Mommy.
And then Salwa. Go ahead, then Salwa. Thank you, Rob.
Don't steal my ideas. Don't steal my ideas from my head.
Well, Rob, I would love to debate you in that, but that is not where I'm going to go, so I digress. I definitely am not a fan of deterrent as peace, but I digress. Rack, by the way, for such a beautiful piece, you picked the lamest picture of a guy. I swear to God. Looks like he's having heartburn. He's like the heartburn commercial guy. He's like the heartburn commercial guy, Rack. He's like, I have heartburn. I don't know. Anyways, Rack, I just wanted to get you a little bit because this is an amazing piece. I think it is actually not about the grand idea that they're speaking of, like Razz and Rob. I think it actually is about a woman, and I feel it in the personification of Icarus here. And he capitalized son, so son is a person, and he even says she. Now, yes, she could be the grand she, Gaia, the goddess Earth Mother, but I really think he's talking about a person.
Yes.
He's saying that's his sunlight, and he dared to be Icarus, and tried to chase her, rise to the heights, and it was a beautiful failure, and he could not breathe. And the use of nuclear as that grand looming doom, but also the idea of the realization of a nuclear winter. You cannot breathe. There is no life, and it's the choking. It's the grandiose idea of literally choking on air. Like the thing that gave you your very oxygen is the thing that's killing you now, and it's a slow choking death that as you fall further from that sun. And wow, this is beautiful, Rack. You're a master at this, and I love it. I love to be in this pain with you because I feel it all the time.
No, you wouldn't.
Thanks, Rack. No. There's a sort of cathartic thing.
Just to bust in. So the idea that what I sort of at least try to hypothetically allude to is that. So imagine that any sense of, constructed nightmare isn't as bad as we first thought. What people thought about nuclear 30 years ago compared to the technology that we got today. We won't go into it, and I get, it's all sorts of problems and these things, and I love that we're different. I love that we can still hang out on the phone, even despite our differences, We could have literal
I know. I want to debate you. I want to debate you. I want to debate you very much, Rob, on this subject, but it's not about that. Because I feel it is I feel nuclear is the great. The atomic weapon is the mother of evil. It is the. I think he exactly spoke true on it.
We need to make a show for the two of them to debate, bro. We need to make a separate show for the two of them to have a debate.
Not today.
Not today. Not
That'll
today.
be a long show. That'll be a long show. Very long show.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead.
I'm dying to comment.
As we thought, that there's a hopeful future, you know what I mean? So it's like that we came through that and that this whole scenario happened, but once we understand that it ain't as bad as we previously thought or as previously understood.
No, Rob. One bomb can destroy this whole planet now. Not just Hiroshima, not just Nagasaki. One bomb can destroy the world. That is not a great thing. And we have children at the button, at the precipice of buttons. No, he's literally romanticizing that nuclear invention is great.
No, I was talking about the poem. There.
Oh, okay. I could have sworn to God you were saying that Oppenheimer was wrong in saying that it was a great beast that he created, which it is.
No. I think he was talking about the emotion, like saying that it was worse, that it's not as bad as it was before. So we can't be that bad off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead,
Sure,
Sarah.
ladies. Sure, I see through it.
Radiation diseases. I did not go further than that.
I have a different opinion. I'm gonna forget what I'm gonna say. Thinking so hard.
Budgeon, Salva.
Okay.
Experiencing the vastness. Hurry up. Go ahead, Salva.
Okay. Experiencing the vastness of the universe, visiting every star in the sky. His love for her is bigger than anything, like really experiencing in the universe. That's how much he loves her. And then visiting every star in the sky, capture the flecks of her eyes. What a beautiful, like, it's so passionate. And then try to understand her mystery. But then they turn to, those stars become saline fractures. My goodness, from crying so much. And then just the way, future beating of wings, I find myself wishing the fall, like, it's just fatal. It's like a fatal attraction almost. The flame, you at the end, you wish hope could possibly have a surviving nuclear winter. It's like, it's so big, like the universe, you wish you could survive. That's how much pain you are in for disappointing her.
That's what distress does.
Yeah, for disappointing her. You literally make you extinguish. What an amazing, like, you use vocabulary that you won't use for romance and passionate, and made it passionate and romantic to show how much you feel.
That's rad for you.
Drain you. Incredible, truly. Drive me insane. She was the air I breathed, and I find myself, and now because you cannot, there's no more air, you got the distress from no more breathing, because she was your air, she's not there anymore. Wow, I'm just in awe, really.
But Sarva, you remember what I was told, right? Go get yourself an oxygen tank.
Go get yourself an oxygen tank.
Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness.
Remember?
I'm sorry. It's not funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
I think it's funny.
Someone tell you that.
I think it's a lesson to learn that when somebody doesn't value you,
Yeah, it's really amazing. So. Anyway, I'm going to have I said what I want to say.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Zach, as always, he's put his emotions right there. Zach, your every poem speaks so deeply about your heart, about your loving, fragile heart, and even this poem is no less than your beautiful personality, your beautiful heart. But my friends, lessons learned, get yourself an oxygen tank and move on.
That's a nice lesson. That's a nice lesson.
People don't value you. They aren't, they aren't good. So.
Yeah, buy one, get one free tonight after the show, everybody. Oxygen tank for free. Yeah.
Oxygen gets you
high. It's total destruction. The total destruction. You can't breathe, you can't function, you can't focus. That's how broken you are. Can somebody drop Gonzo's poem on the board for me?
Okay, I have to go. I love you all.
He's up there.
Love you too.
So nice to you.
Have a beautiful day, Soul.
Yes, Soul.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes.
I hope you are inspired to write. I hope something touches
I
you.
am.
She will.
I am. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Thanks. Bye. Bye-bye.
So what Gonzo put was the link to his YouTube, the actual YouTube thing.
I don't know if you really
So the Pete.
Oh, the scary one. Bye. The scary one.
There's no writing.
No, there's no physical writing, I don't think. Let's go to the channel here real quick and see what's what.
This one's called Forgiveness.
Oh, shit.
Forgiveness is more than saying sorry. To forgive is divine. So let's have a glass of wine and have make-up sex until the end of time. So, what'd you think?
I mean, my God.
Oh my God, you're sweet.
Was that the whole thing?
What's happening?
I think.
Was that it?
I don't know. I think that's.
There's no audio commentary from him, like.
No, it's only 52 seconds, and he said it was a joke.
Oh, he got us. Gonzo got us. Ah.
Yeah.
We all thought it was going to be a gag, like
yeah,
a real, like.
That's great, except for priests, make-up sex to forgive.
Make up sex and forgive. That's the solution to everything. All right. You know.
As long as it's the bomb. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so. Oh, okay.
Have we gone through everyone? Lawrence?
No, we need Rama. Can somebody get Rama's? It's like the second or third one down, and I'll just push her. Oh, wait, hers might be this jacked up one. This is the second time. Hold on. Let me see.
Hashtag EXTM3U hashtag
Hashtag.
AEM
Okay.
is still forgiving with the hashtag.
Soul, will you read hers for us, Soul? Rama? I don't know what it says. Hashtag bullshit.
That's right.
Soul left? Or?
You say Salwa, you said?
Or can you read it, Salwa?
Oh, sure. I thought you said soul. I was confused. Okay, can you put it there?
No,
is it there on the?
No, I'm gonna grab
you want
it
me to
right
grab it?
I got it. Yeah, sorry about that.
It?
I don't know why that was happened to your poem. I don't know why.
Okay.
So bad. This happened last time.
Forgiveness. By how I finally did it. Brahma Balasubramanian. Listen to her forgiveness. How I finally did it. She always shouted at me, criticized me full day for my husband-in-laws and kids. I'm bad. They hated me and treated me badly. Every moment, everyone only told me how bad I am. It seemed as if I was baddest in words. I often cried, felt I didn't deserve to live. I thought my karmas were the cause that I endured all. I kept Mom. I didn't want to hurt her and sin further. Already I was suffering a lot. She also did black magic on me. I would find things in house that didn't belong to me. All my new dresses would have a red stain like blood. It would just not go. When I wore those dresses, I would become negative, depressed, and cry for hours. Thoughts like running away from home would come in mind. I didn't know what to do, how to remove the stain. How can I get out wearing a cloth with a red stain in it? But I had to. Anything new I purchased would be stained next day. I suffered for 15 years.
Every moment, agony, sadness, pain. Everyone hated me, criticized me, my self-confidence at its lowest ebb. The very thought of those days still make me sad. After she left home, everything stopped. It was only then I realized that she was the cause of the red stain. All say forgive and forget. But how can I forgive her? How can I not hate her? Despite my best efforts, not able to do it. The easier said than done. I've stopped talking to her. I wanted to be away from her physically and mentally. That's the only way I can be happy. I cannot stop hating her, cannot like her. I keep myself busy and try not to think of her. Still, mine gets very upset at times. Those times I tell myself, my karmas are the cause of my suffering. She's a mere instrument of hand of God to punish me. With these thoughts, I calm my mind. When I read about forgiveness, I laugh. It's not easy for humans to forgive. Best is not to think. What would you think doesn't exist? And then one day later, after writing above, mine wasn't terminal. Scripture states we are part of God. And why? Is suffering. Why God doesn't end up suffering. And really a part of God? Is my holy body a part of God or just soul? I opened Bhagavad Gita, started reading God, the answer. Soul is part of God, body is not. Soul is eternal, body is perishable. Body suffers for sin of previous birth. Since soul associates itself with body, it feels pain. We are the soul, not the body. Moment I read the above, I felt peaceful. Whom to forgive? For what? I never suffered. It was the body that suffered. I am the soul. Question of forgiveness doesn't arise at all. And the phone.
Oh, amazing. Well read. That's exactly it. That last stanza is the quintessential theme of everything. It's kind of what a lot of the time I seem to try to get at, not as eloquently as that, but the Bhagavad Gita Sanskrit texts that read that, all the things that we sort of seem to suffer by are neurochemical interactions with those around us and our projections thereof. That there's 80 sorts of neurochemical transactions happening in every second of every moment of our lives, and everything is just a sort of adaptation to that through evolutionary senses and our interpretation thereof, and then that. But if we're able to calm ourselves to the point where we can actually realize that nothing is really to do with us when it comes to these, or at least this theme about forgiveness, that even the semantics are quite unique for me, because the thought of forgiveness implies that someone has done something wrong, but for me even that's a flawed idea, because it's sort of like, that's a whole different set of semantics than that. But I think that definitely, that especially that last bit sums it up, because it's exactly that we have to continuously remind ourselves that what I was saying to Bath and Souls, in fact, was the same sort of thing, is that don't sort of pin anything to anybody else, because when it comes down to the crux of it all, it's just essentially being on good terms with yourself. You know what I mean? To put it simply, and I don't want to go on and on because I know I'm talking too much, but great poem. I really enjoyed that. That was one of my favorites. Thanks. Who's that? Rama.
Mm-hmm.
Nice one.
Well, who comes next? Yeah, me?
You do, Razz.
All right. I see this to express a kind of relationship where one has bitter feelings towards a person's mother, and they feel emotionally used and psychologically mistreated all their life by this one and same person. And so you have these sorts of social dynamics going on daily basis where billions and billions of people, that's a lot of mothers and fathers and children and sons and daughters. And so the ones that tend to not forgive a parent have to finally even seek answers from a higher source, because what's fundamentally there and wrong, it just doesn't seem to ever completely heal. There are so many insistences upon this neglect from the authority figure from birth up to a more extensive age that one would see how the first part really coincides with the second part on knowing if God would forgive, then wouldn't you?
There you go. Adam.
Yeah, it's definitely just, I mean, like the way it was summed up in the end, it is an existential thing. It's reality as you perceive, and that's just life as it always is and always will be. It's whatever you allow it to be. Whatever you see, that is your reality. It's like, and it helps you craft forgiveness. It helps you weave it out of the dark, painful things of life, those things that crush and cut and tear you apart. It's being able to perceive it and reframe it, redirect it, and it's your attitude towards it that makes it what it is. So if you believe you don't deserve to be alive, then you don't deserve to be alive because you are making that reality true. You believe whatever you want to believe, and that is solely yours to own. No one else can really truly affect you. It perceives to be that way, but in all reality, we make our reality. It is one, and that's why it's not selfish really, and this has been kind of like spoken of throughout, but it's actually quite just real. I mean, you only look through your eyes, your soul, and your heart. So it is you. It's up to you to see what you want to see. It's like you can be the darkness too, right? We all can be the dark things, but you also don't have to allow the dark things to hurt you. You can reframe it and make it less so. I know she spoke on it more of like an ignoring way, to ignore it. If you do not acknowledge it, then it does not exist. I don't know. To me, that's a building up of pain that one day it will crack the shell from within. I think another way is to reframe it. Reframe your reality. I am not that. I am not what they say I am, and fight back. Basically, I mean, from the top where she was talking about, husband's awful, in-laws are awful. I do not even deserve to live. My heart was breaking for my kids treat me like garbage or whatever, and it's like that's not you. And then the cultural ideal. This must be my karma. This is karma resonating into this life now. I must have done something bad beyond my understanding, even to have to deal with this in my karma. And I hate that she feels this way, but she kind of like works it through in an interesting way. To like, it is your perception. It's how you see it, and there can be good that come from all sort of trials and tribulations. The good can come from it. It's just how you see it.
Yeah. Good comment, Adam. You're right. Zach, you still here?
Yeah, I think the hardest person to forgive is yourself. And, when it comes to a situation like that, people, throw all kinds of stuff at you, and it makes you doubt yourself, and it crumbles your own foundation. But at the end of the day, if you don't figure yourself, then you just swallow. It's really a difficult position to be in.
Sarah?
It's very interesting, right? I really believe, people have different beliefs, and I like what everyone said. She said in the bottom of, I didn't forget to read it, the embodied souls in this material world, that's what made her change her mind, are my eternal fragmented parts, but bound by my material nature. They are struggling with the six senses, including the mind. I agree with Adam, I have to say, but I see her strength. I think she's sincere what she was saying. I think her faith, that's what she believed, that in karma, that's what she really believes in. I think when you this part of your belief, she realized that only knowing that to forgive at the end, after all of this, she felt bad that she hated her, which is normal. I agree. Someone would do this for 15 years. You're going to hate them. You're going to feel bad. You don't want to be around them. But moment I read all the book, I felt peaceful. Whom to forgive for what? I never suffered. It was the body who suffered and the soul. She came to this resolution. If this helped her, good for her. It's great that she was able to question her forgiveness doesn't arise at all. Like Rob said, she gave to this peace of to the point that nothing really mattered. It's something not easy to do. Everyone reacts differently to how people make them suffer. It's just interesting. I really didn't know about this. I know about the karma, how they believe that people another world and they have to pay another life. Someone did something horrible. It's just interesting thought. And,
well, I think the way that I see it is like the Hindu sense of seeing someone else's angle, someone else's projection, is almost the purest form of forgiveness, because it's detaching it from that person and saying that, for example, if X is doing an act toward me, that my feelings or negative association with X is not felt in that way, but rather it's to realize that X is an X and Y, that is completely separate.
Yeah, and it's not easy to do because we are human. It's not something easy to do. We're going to feel anger. We're going to feel emotion. We're going to feel. Everyone is but I admire her truly. I admire her for able to get to this point. That's not easy to do, as she said.
No, it isn't. She always has deep poetry.
Very, very, very lot of wisdom in her writing, and very realistic. Like honest. She just puts raw what she thinks.
And I'm sorry that it doesn't work. Every time I try the SoundCloud, it says W.
Hey Rob, XYZ Rob.
XYZ, that's his thing.
I'd say XYZ. Examine your zipper.
I think it says WNU. I've never. That's just a weird extension for I can't. But anyway, Jessica's been waiting all day. He'll be the last one, and then the rest will carry over. Do you want to talk about your show tomorrow, Adam?
I'm actually 7 years old because I was born on a leap year, so that's 7 things.
I'm a rapist.
It's the same.
Oh no, Boo. We already knew that, but.
Okay.
No, they wanted it every time, Boo. It wasn't rape.
We forgive you.
I want it every time. You can't rape the willing, right? Okay.
We forgive you. Rob's like, indeed. And my childish banter, XYZ, is never the sum of my reality, though there it is upon your forlorn airwaves here. Forgiveness.
Oh, shit. You want to talk about your show tomorrow, Adam?
I think that the whole sort of crux that falls out, but that's just my opinion.
No. It's all groovy.
To err is human, to forgive divine.
Truly.
Adam, you want to talk about your show tomorrow?
I mean, sure. I mean, we're not even on the air anymore, right? No, but yes. Everybody come, show me your wild. Everybody else plugged me enough, though. Honestly, I think.
Me that question.
Wait, what?
People keep asking.
I mean, you included the. I think people are overthinking this way too much.
Yeah.
It's like they've never heard of such a concept. It's like. It's so you included a quote. It basically sums it up. People are overthinking. What is anti-poetry? Basically, a lot of people are doing it all the time and they don't realize it. It's just you're bucking the standards of classical form or any rhyming or any. It can be all sorts of things. It's against the natural grain of things. You're snubbing your nose or you're flicking your chin at the scholastic uppity nature that poets tend to like.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the grimy reality of it's like the beatniks. It's in the club. It's in the dark alleys. It's the rappers. It's the real shit. And you know it's even sometimes it's writing about things that no one ever writes about. You know, it's things that are opposed to the standards of the norms of classic nature of poetry. All these laureates with their huffy, highfalutin kind of nature about poetry. You know, they look down on and they look down upon people that are maybe just budding or just maybe are unique. And really poetry is the deconstruction of the mechanics of human language. It's not about the rights of it. It's like sometimes people that are highly, highly educated tend to not appreciate the grimy reality that it's art. That it's art and it's for interpretation, and anyone can do it. And as I was telling you before, Boo, in a private conversation, to me, poetry or the written word is the most universal art that anybody can possess, because not everybody can draw fairly, where they feel successful, or can do music. But words seem to be almost the most common denominator of art. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's up for debate, actually. Now I'm thinking about myself. I'm debating myself in my own mind because I'm so crazy. And you guys don't even hear it because it's in my mind. But I feel like words are tangible for everyone, when sometimes someone might shake at the idea of picking up a paintbrush or a guitar for that matter. So like the idea of words, everybody has them, and anybody can do it from a child, because that was the first time I was introduced to poetry when I was maybe 6 years old and winning, poetry contests. And it's like just, it's just this idea that people just, I feel like the snobby nature of poets is a detriment to poetry, because it can be anything, and it's art, and it should be universal. And so anti-poetry is the universe of allowing anything goes. So come, be you, be crazy, be weird. If you got that weird poem, you don't think it's quite right, mine's the show to throw it into.
I see.
Perfect. Yeah, I got lots of those.
So is it your auntie on your father's side or your mother's side?
Wait, right, what's that?
Is it your auntie on your father's side or your mother's side?
It's a cousin once removed, and it might have been, grandmama's other sister, but I'm not quite sure. I am my own grandpa, I think, in the end here. I don't know. That's crazy. That song actually makes sense, too, when you listen to it. He actually is his own grandpa. And I always wondered, how could you be your own grandpa? How would you travel through time and make this happen? And he explains it eloquently in that song. It's masterful. Does anybody know the Stupids, or am I just stupid for referencing the Stupids?
You're just an idiot. No, I'm kidding.
I am an idiot savant. I'm so dumb.
That's so rich. He speaks from the grave. Ginsberg.
Shit, man. Poor Jethro was away the whole day, and now it's just processing. Just takes processing. It's not working. Well, how about somebody could read his poem? Adam, could you read his poem? Jethro, I feel bad because he's waiting.
What's up?
All night.
I heard my name.
It just says.
He's asking you to read.
Yeah,
read who's?
Processing. Jethro, I'm gonna put it in the room.
Read Jethro's?
Jethro. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
I love Jethro, by the way. He's a wonderful new addition I don't know how long he's been part of the group. He's rather new, isn't he? But I don't know. I love him to death. The other night when he was on the phone, it was hilarious. He was like wild. He was so wild on the line. He had no care.
Yeah, I know. I heard all.
He was great. Anyways, okay, so this is Jethro for A Woman Waiting. I already like that sentiment. So he has a YouTube, so I encourage someone to go, check it out on your time to hear him. But here's my feeble attempt at reading his poem. Called home to my lady, was barely supper time. Called home to my lady, said, hey, I'm on time. My old lady, she dropped a plate in the kitchen there. Come out rushing to me saying, baby, I'm glad you're back. Baby, oh, am I glad you're back. Ain't I glad, baby, you are back. It's been so very lonesome on the nights, oh, have been so cold. While you have been gone, baby, I have felt ever so alone. Now you know I don't like sleeping without your warmth. I said, I know, baby. That's why I'm home early. It's a simple bit of me wishing to let you know I miss you too. And when I can, I shall try to be around. It's just I can't always be a here. Places to be and meanings to meet. Got places I need to be, and traveling isn't slow. Not exactly all that fast anyhow. So most of the time I'll be gone from your life, but when I'm here, baby, you won't tell me how. And even more, show me you still love me, this old beaten down man you married a long time ago. For I'm still in love with you, baby. Yes, I'm still in love with you, baby. Yes, I'm still in love with you. You still in love with me, baby. But yes, I'm still in love with you. You still in love with me, baby. End poem.
I don't know.
Jethro's the man. Jethro's the man, dude. Love it.
Razz.
I don't know.
Did we lose Razz?
What that means. That he's still in love with his baby, and that's forgiveness. But that must be deep for people who have relationships.
Oh man. Damn, Razz. I'll be your buddy, man. Come on. I can put on a wig, some pumps.
Pump take on a whole new meaning in that sentence, let me tell you.
Rack and then Rob.
I honestly don't think Razz is into that, but, hey.
Razz, are you into that? No.
He's definitely not. I just did it to make him uncomfortable because I like him. I like him platonically.
But see, you don't understand him. That doesn't necessarily make him I don't feel. I would almost bet it doesn't make him feel uncomfortable. He's just sitting there shaking his head.
It doesn't. He just goes with the flow. So Raph and then Rob comment.
It was all right. I mean, I don't know much to say about it. My impression of him the other night is kind of overriding my ability to comment on it at the moment.
Okay, got it. Okay, Rob. Is Rob still there? I don't know. He's falling asleep for a second. Okay, Sarah.
I'm trying to read it. My old lady, I'm here. My old lady, she dropped a plate in the kitchen. There came out rushing to me, saying, "I don't know. I've been so very naughty." I think it's like
he's down. He's DTF. Sorry.
Excuse me. He's what?
Never mind. Go ahead, Sarah.
Oh no, she doesn't know that one.
I didn't understand.
Never mind, Sarah.
Okay.
It's an acronym. Let's leave it at that.
I don't know what it is.
OPP?
Well,
let someone explain her feelings for this poem, please.
I don't know what's happening. What's happening? So, I don't know.
He's talking about a whore. That's what it means, a woman waiting. Someone who's another person's
mistress. No, I'm going to pass. Thank you. I'm going to pass.
That's what he's talking about. What are you talking about?
Oh, Razz, you chased her away.
No, I'm not going to comment. Right? Sorry, I'm not commenting. Sorry.
I think it's a euphemism.
He's like, hey, I'm right here. He's like, hey, I'm right here. Let's talk. That's what they're saying. That's pretty much. I mean, in a roundabout way, and not really even that roundabout. really? I didn't know you're home this early. A simple bit of wishing, wish I miss you too. And then at the end, he said, yes, I'm in love with you, in love with you. Why are they asking? I want to know at the end. Why are they got to keep asking? Like, it's almost like they're trying to convince themselves. I don't know. Are you in love with me? I don't know. Are you in love with me? You didn't have to ask. That's probably pretty bad. But, he's home early to get some. That's what I say, pretty much.
Wow, man. I don't know. I felt more in this. I really did.
You did?
I really felt a deep connection here between two people. Even if she is a lady in waiting, which I think he's just saying that, like he's using that as we all know the lady in waiting, but I think it's really truly his lady, and even if it is so, maybe it's a long time relationship they have. Maybe it's a special kind of lady in waiting. He's a returning buyer, but it's like a long built relationship.
Returning buyer, frequent flyer.
Yeah, like it's been a long standing surrogate for him. Like it might be that. It might be a surrogate in a way of love. And because he is a man of travel and no time to have true connection, she is all that he has for connection. And so that's why she understands this plight in him, and she's happy he's there. I'm just seeing probably more than really is there.
Understand the possibility. What it means to you is not necessarily what it means to him.
I know.
Your view of love is probably a little more, shall we say, refined than the words poem are implying.
Right.
Oh, that's scary.
I don't know. I kind of see this quick thing here. I don't know. Maybe it's me.
You're elevating it to a level that it doesn't deserve.
Oh man, Rex.
Yeah. I don't think so either.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. I think it's about hitting and quitting it. Hitting and quitting it, right? I mean, that's what I see. I don't know.
No, because he comes back all the time. She's not like he was expected to be there, and she's so happy she drops a plate in the kitchen that he's returned.
Yeah. Well, she drops.
She's excited.
When he comes around.
There's a familiarity to his return. It's right from the beginning. There's a familiarity between them.
But he also says that he's not always going to be there. He's kind of setting it up that he's running around. He's doing it she's his girl, but only when he's in that town. He's like a traveling salesman, and he's running around from town to town. And since I'm here,
look at all the content right there. You're talking about someone who's
Razz. What's your opinion on hit and quit it, Razz?
Another location. For a traveling salesman. It's a bad joke for a horse.
Let's hear Rob.
But you know what? If you're accepting this, then you're accepting it. Rob. I think Rob's gone already. I think he dropped or he. Yeah, I think he dropped. He's like
education and I had no idea. I'm serious.
He's probably like, shut the fuck up. No, but I don't know. I see a quickie, thing too, Rack. I'm with you. I see like it's convenience, kind of like I'm in town, so let's go, but I don't know.
Very folky, very Bob Dylan-ish.
Bob Dylan-ish. Do you want to comment?
I should have read it in the voice of Bob Dylan. That would have been great. Oh, baby, do you love me?
It would have been better too if we had heard the song probably.
John Folk can do that himself, Adam. He likes doing folk.
Hey, I want to. I promised Silk I would read his because he was been waiting and he's having trouble with his. He's got to go. So if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to do Silk because we're already in overtime, so it doesn't matter at this point. I'm going to put it over there. Okay.
I know there's one you don't make a connection to, Lovely Rita from Sgt. Pepper. There's another woman away.
She was a meter man.
What did Papa say on the board? What did Papa say on the board? He seems like he got it. Maybe we're getting all wrong, Rack. I don't know.
Oh, he's on the board.
He said.
Papa go to the board.
Yeah, right. Okay, you guys got silks?
Oh, he's
silks is good. Do you need a reader, Boo? You want me to read?
Yeah, go ahead, Razz. You read it, Razz. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Forgiveness of the Fakal. I'll forgive you when you're dead, she said as she laid the barrel. of a pearl-handled revolver against his temple, took a drag of her cigarette, and exhaled his last breath. Laughing, she leaves lipstick on his duct-taped lips, eyes full of maniacal flames that sear his heartbeats with tendrils of oblivion black, running through this thundering vein, carrying the tape from his lips so she can relish his blubbering pleas. So her fingers slip, silencing all with a rip-roar flash of gunpowder and the sound of hell opening, tunneling through his vision, spraying the gray paint of his ego all over the wall like a screaming vermilion Easter egg. There he lay, a pathetic worm struggling to remain in its prison of decay. Kneeling, she delivered a coup de grace kiss, watched light wane to black, laid her hand on a blood-speckled cheek, smiled sweetly. Now, I forgive you, darling, she whispered to the darkness.
Dang. Brought that, didn't he?
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so that sounds like silk. Sour.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost someone who, I don't know, he raped her or something. I'm not sure why would, I mean, you want to kill someone like this except he hurt you really bad. That, maybe I'm losing it. I'm tired. I'm sorry. It's been a long time.
No, some chicks dig this, though. It's true. They do.
He offered her an oxygen tank.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this is serious. When someone, I mean, actually, the statistic. This is true. The statistic of women who are in jail are the reason they kill men is because they hurt them. That's the number one reason. So it could be, I don't know. That's what I see here.
Adam?
There's a couple of
there's a multitude of reasons it could be. She could have had a lover. He could have been the lover. She could be trying to run off. There's a billion other reasons. It doesn't necessarily mean she's been damaged by him. It's your own narrative to make in your own head. I mean, I just love the writing of it. It's wonderfully written, and it's dark. I love the dark take at it. I don't try to see her as a victim. She's killing this man in cold blood, but we only assume that, right? Because he must be some monster to have hurt her that she retaliates. She duct taped his mouth, for God's sakes, and kissed it. I mean, she's seething in the death of him. She loves it. She's wanting to do this. I mean, it's noir. It's dark. It's silk. It's beautifully written and elegant, and it's got that whole and a femme fatale. That means like she was a deadly love. She wasn't like a victim. She wasn't a damsel in distress. She was. She was the killer. She was the vicious one. She's a fatale. She's fatal. She's deadly. He shouldn't have played with her, basically.
No, we understand so. Well, we understand so. Well, don't worry. We see it in this way.
I mean, our own traumas can dictate our reality. I get it.
I mean, he bit off more than he could do.
Yeah, he bit off more than
Rax,
he could chew.
Give me your opinion, Rax. Well, he shouldn't be playing. He can't stand the heat. Get out the kitchen.
The point that Adam was making, you know, it could have even been a perceived slight. You know, whatever it is she's blaming him for, you know, he's already guilty. So that doesn't matter. She's getting her revenge, and I almost want to say it's a little overkill saying I'll forgive you when you're dead in the beginning. I would have liked it a little better if he would have left that till the very end, because, you know, now I forgive you, you know, and reworded it just a little, but, you know, because that's a really cool line. But to open with that line, I'll forgive you when you're dead, you know, I think was a little anticlimactic. But, you know, I loved his descriptions of, you know, the whole blood on the brain and you know, his wording.
He deleted the piece already. What the heck?
What?
He deleted it. Yeah, he's already deleted it. I clicked on the link and it's gone.
Oh, my gosh. Sorry, Silk. I don't know.
Why did he do that? It's an awesome piece. Silk.
It is an awesome piece, yeah. I think.
Sorry, Rack. I didn't mean to cut you off. You were giving a beautiful explanation of it, but dang. How do you get rid of it?
Femme fatale, it says right there.
She's just a femme fatale.
obviously he felt some way about that piece if he deleted it. So I don't know if we should continue commenting on it.
Okay.
I enjoyed the language, Silk. I enjoyed the description. I thought it was well written.
The Black Widow.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, obviously she's there for a reason. I mean, you know, she's not liking it. You know, otherwise she wouldn't be there. Oh, so I think it's well done. I like the picture he has in the back too, and the picture on the top. So okay, well, I guess that's it.
He's a master at that, by the way. I love Silk's dark noir. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
The pictures really got that, isn't it? The picture's fascinating, really.
I can't see it anymore. But yeah, the crumpled naked body with a woman. I couldn't even. I'm trying to remember it.
I always say that we all forgive you for now, but there's tomorrow.
Yeah, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah, let those thoughts
Not for
ruminate.
the guy in the chair. Not for the guy in the chair.
Yeah, no, he's not here.
There is
Sorry,
no tomorrow
Silk,
for him.
if we offended you in any way, Silk, or we offended you, we apologize, or anything happened, I'm sorry, we didn't mean to. I hope that not.
We love it.
That.
I mean,
I just want to make sure you got read, that's all. I just want to make sure you got read. So, I think...
we missed Naomi. We got time for that.
Yeah, we did miss Naomi, that's true. Okay. I'm not going to do it while we're here. Yeah, we do have it. Is that the only one, Adam?
I think it's the only one on the board that is still...
No, we got one for Razz, too.
Tans.
I think Lawrence is up there. Tans
and Lawrence.
Yeah, is that it? Because if we get done, I won't have to have a show Tuesday.
Tans is still there?
No, Tans.
I don't know. I heard someone say she left. No, her piece is gone.
She deleted her account.
So we'll just do Naomi and then Lawrence, and we'll be done there. We'll have a show Tuesday. We'll be off Tuesday, Razz, okay?
So you think, but there's tomorrow and Sunday. I wouldn't know.
Oh, right. Good point. It's only Friday. I forgot.
Is it Friday?
Okay.
Why does Friday feel like
Friday.
Wednesday?
You got a lot of rights already, Adam, for your show already. 14, 15, I think.
It has something to do with the polar vortex.
Let me know, Adam, when you want me to lock the board, okay? So I'll lock the board for you because you don't want to get too many. Then it gets crazy. Just a tip.
Juggling 15 rights doesn't leave a lot of time for comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm so new to this. I don't necessarily. Well, I got
1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I only have 12.
Okay, 12. Okay.
And then one for you, one for your co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one, so I can always omit mine. Like, mine doesn't matter. Now, you see my name a couple times because I'm submitting for other people.
Yeah. Okay. So this is for Naomi. You guys got... Oh, I should have the poem up there.
Bye-bye, butterfly.
I always thought she would have had a SoundCloud, but she doesn't.
There's a SoundCloud.
Cool.
There is a SoundCloud. Yes, in the bottom.
I didn't see it.
Yes, on the bottom of the poem, not in the.
Yeah, I looked there.
In the author notes.
Oh.
No, not other notes. In the poem itself, I think. I'm not sure I see it. Let me open it.
No, there's not one in there. It's not included with the poem. Maybe it's underneath the poem.
YouTube, it says. No?
Oh.
It says YouTube.
No.
I don't know.
Bye-bye Butterfly. There's no SoundCloud or YouTube.
Where?
I'm looking at it right now. There's none.
I didn't see it either. I didn't see it.
What's wrong? Why is it here? I'm going to post it on the board so you can believe me. 1 second. I'm not
for Bye-Bye Butterfly, but I'm looking at the poem.
We're going to have to carry it over
it.
then because I don't have the SoundCloud.
Not SoundCloud, YouTube. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
I'm going to put it there so you believe me.
For Bye-Bye Butterfly.
Then we have to convert it.
Not the one for my show.
We have to convert it and everything else. Yeah. So, yeah, I think. Let me see. Wait, let me look at the poem. I see the poem. I don't see them.
There is none. I'm looking at the poem right now.
I put it there.
There's none.
Raz, where is it, Raz?
I put it on the board. I put it on the board.
The poem's on the board.
You did?
No,
Okay,
I put the cube.
Where did you find this? For Bye Bye Butterfly.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it the right poem?
It's there.
No, it's not. This is Beneath Papered Walls, Sawa. This is for mine. This is the one for my contest. Or whatever. I told you. I show you. Oh, my goodness.
No, it's
Some sleep, girl.
For forgiveness. There's Data Bridge. Forgiveness by Lawrence. Wasn't on Bye Bye Butterfly by Naomi Sayora. Join Rob and Bruce for forgiveness. All welcome.
Yeah.
This very show, Adam. It's this show.
It's this show. There you go. Okay, so I'll read for her, okay? Naomi, bye-bye. Bye-bye Butterfly, okay? My second relationship, it took me a long time to trust again. My first relationship being a decent descent into hell, but slowly you won me over. Oh, you were so patient, so persistent. Not the kind of compliment nor bring flowers. Just always there helping out. Always like a little butterfly fluttering by, gently, tenderly teaching me to love again. Making me want once more to become the soft flower I once was, and let you settle upon my petals. Yes, 16 years together, you helped me raise my kids. We even had a beautiful boy together, and you were the best of fathers. Always there changing diapers, getting up to feed the baby in the middle of the night. And I loved you, and you loved me, but I knew we had slowly withered, yes, rotted away into nothing. Then one morning you said you'd met another, and I cried for half an hour. I'm not the kind that is easily broken. I sat with you at the kitchen table, asked you who she was, wished you the best of luck, and then you simply left. I started life over, suddenly felt a heavy weight lifted. I was happy again. I realized that together was no longer a fulfilling place. I started painting again, started running again, started writing again. I became myself again. I quickly started dating, looking for someone better, because I had grown up, and I knew more what I needed and what I wanted, and I totally deserved. So life goes on, and yes, we still talk, and you're doing good. You'll always be the father of my last child, a bond stronger than any grudges. And I wish you the best. You're a good man, but I realized we had just matured, both needing, both wanting something better. And yes, I will always cherish those times we spent together as I continue being a better me, looking for someone more suited to fulfill the woman I've become, a man who compliments and flowers, a man I can talk to for hours. Yes, a man as good as you, just one that fits me better, the one person who'll let me dream so much wider and higher, and I hope you found that too. End poem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's nice. It's not like a big fuck you to the ex, you know. That's handy. Right? Because she's saying, like, hey, we're just not meant to be together. Yes. I love you, but not in that way. And it takes a lot to tell somebody to move on and be with somebody else and be happy. I've never done that, I don't think. But we probably should. Some could have, but no, that's not me. But that's just not me. But anyway, let's forget about me. No, but this is it takes a lot. You know, she respects them, but she's just not in love with them, I think. And that's the worst, when you love somebody but you're not in love with them. You can't force it, can't create it. It's there or it's not. Chemistry's not there. Nothing's going to happen. What do you think, Razzle Dazzle? Of the butterfly?
Yeah, I guess this is about growing up. You have one realization of what a person is like, and then it changes as life goes on. They become that father figure. They become someone who
the daddy zone.
Really like to look up to, or at least think of as a guide here in this world where anyone would easily take advantage of another human being if set out to their own wills. You have cases of people just being locked away in realities that don't exist from social or related brainwashing, and It shouldn't be like that, Stockholm. It shouldn't be a case that there's individuals within society just believing the very lies they're told by handlers instead of these kinds of individuals, a good man, someone who can show proper guidance.
There you go. A good man is the catch there.
13 response.
There you go. A good man's hard to catch. Is it there? You know, and also grow a pair, fellas. Like, some guys just have no balls, period. So, anyway, Rack has some.
Yeah, I mean, this is an adult view of a divorce. You know, she's looking at it cold and logical. You know, you don't want. I don't want to be any place that I'm not wanted. I'm going to move on, but you know, I'm not really going to hold it against you either. I'm just going to continue with my life. Kind of and, yeah, and I wish you the best. You know, because at the end of the day, that's what love is. You know, and she's kind of saying, you know, something that's really difficult to say. My feelings don't matter. What I care about is you know, is how I felt about you. I wish you to be happy. So for me to let you be happy is to let you go. So I'm letting you go, and I'm forgiving you at the same time.
Well, you know, they say that, I always read this thing. It said the definition of true love is putting someone else's well-being ahead of your own.
Yep.
So, and that's hard to do. Adam, I know you got something to say. Where's Adam? Oh, maybe he dropped. I was wondering why it got quiet all of a sudden.
No, bring back Mr. Personality.
There he is. Where's Salwa? You want to say something to Naomi?
Just bye, butterfly. Like butterfly, just fly, go find somewhere, like another butterfly or something. I love the very telling about who she is. Yes. I love her, very telling about her, because not every relationship can end up like this when someone leaves you. Could be bitter, could be angry at him, not wishing him. But she did the opposite. She accepted it with open heart. And because I think deep in her heart, she knew that there's something missing, as you said. They were like going apart anyway from the beginning, before even he left her. Yeah. Something that she expected it, but still it hurts because there is this familiarity, I guess, and the father of her child, and shows how she was before and now. She's stronger and know what she wants. If everyone reacts like this, would be less problem in this world, really. Shit. Everyone accepting and wishing.
Too bad I'm not mature enough to do that. Just kidding.
I mean, I'm like her, so I understand. I'm really like
the more than one thing.
Yeah. There's more than one twig in the world, isn't there, Razz?
I think that apple fell off that tree to hit me on the head.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
I mean, but like, what about seeing your ex with someone else? That's really hard. I mean, just to watch them with someone else, I don't think I could do it.
No.
I mean, you know,
especially
with kids, it's hard. Yeah, when you have kids, it's rough. Yeah. Then you're like, oh, there goes my family. I was going to say something about that.
Yeah, but you're living in a state where social media runs a good part of society now, so, you know, there's always the vengeance sex tape whenever there's
That's always in my back pocket, Razz. Always in my back pocket. The old sex tape scan. Just kidding. Isn't it funny how they just found it? It was just like around. It was just around. Like, remember when Pamela Anderson said that? Oh, they just found it in my house. Or what was that? Kim Kardashian, maybe. I'm not sure. But okay. Anybody else say anything?
Silly Ellen, stick to the porn. We forgive you.
Stick to the porn. Say a couple rosaries. Call it a day. That's what I'm saying. Shit. So how many we got left? Not many, right? I think. You know what's weird? Rack. You know what's weird about Ramaz is like when every time I convert it, it says 3MU, and I'm like, what is that? So then I try to convert it again, and it goes there's a hashtag. I feel bad.
When
I haven't ever got it right.
The last time I used that Y2 MP3, I had to take it, and the download played. It was a valid MP3, but when you tried to put it in Blog Talk said it was corrupted. So I converted it from MP3 to MP3. I converted it from MP3 to MP3, and whatever it is that they did to make it so that it's non-transferable, it worked. So that was how I fixed it. Then someone else
learned to keep the easier
answer is to find a better converter, because that can't be the only thing that strips MP3s out of YouTube. There's got to be another one. There's also a stink of spyware around that site because there's supposedly a lot of junk. Yeah, so
they're always got some shit pop up, whatever. Yeah.
More breaking the census board, Boo, here. This is like a Jerry Lee marathon. We're at 3.5 hours now.
I know. I was looking for something. Darn it. I wanted to. Remember, Rack?
Who's left? We have Lawrence.
Seriously, who's blowing up my phone? Oh, yeah. Powerball.
Powerball draws Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is over $350 million. Play now. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase player claim.
Frontier presents A Guide to Holiday Gift Giving. You've made your list.
A gaming system for Junior, a smart speaker for the missus, a tablet for Grandma.
But there's one thing it's missing.
A new 4K TV for me?
Actually, it's the speed and reliability of Frontier's 100% fiber optic network that can turn a good gift into a great one with 25 times faster upload speeds than cable. Get our fiber gig service for $74.99 per month with autopay, plus a $200 Visa reward card on us. Exclusive offer for qualified households only. Go to frontier.com/getfiber for complete offer details. Service is subject to availability and all applicable terms and conditions.